One Piece Justice, Chapter 341-360. Chapter 341 Sanji News. There is a notice today. Today's 6th update, today and tomorrow's 2-day update have been posted. There is something to do tomorrow. After the end of the World Government Conference, the kings and representatives of each member country also return to their own countries. At this time, the huge proposals formed during the World Government Conference were also publicized. Shi down pointing arrow bug shi. The deformed organization established for many years, the Shichibukai of the king was abolished, and the members of the Shichibukai of the current king have became pirates and were rewarded again. Death Surgeon, Trafalgar Law, captain of the Yuhi Heart Pirates, with the ability to operate fruit, with a reward of 500 million berries. The King of Clowns, Buggy, who has the ability to split the fruit, has a reward of 200 million berries. As for Hawkeye, there is no reward. After all, the other party is only a solo world's largest swordsman, not a pirate, so there is no reward for him. In fact, after Doflamingo's death, the Shichibukai organization of the king has already existed in name only, and there are only 3 members left, so it is normal to be abolished this time. However, the impact of this incident is far more than that. In the eyes of the big pirates in the New World, Marine is advancing step by step. Maybe when it will be ready, it will enter the New World, so the New World the atmosphere became tense again. However, Marine's action seems to have ended here, and Marine did not continue to do anything, just continued to relocate his Marine headquarters, and did not intend to enter the New World. New World. After the first battle of the Dark World, especially after the battle between Blackbeard and Kaido, the 3 emperors of the New World seem to have tacitly agreed that Blackbeard will occupy the Dark World. It proves that the other party is strong, so the 3 emperors have no action. After all, the Blackbeard emperor still sent a lot of materials as an apology. As for the power of the world government, they are powerless, and their control in the New World is really strong. It is too small, so there is no way to get the Blackbeard Dicky. New Marine Headquarters, Marshal's Office, Dicky the Blackbeard, now that you have got what you want and completely occupied the Dark World, how are you going to help us enter the New World? Tianyu said. Ziahahahaha, don't worry, Marshal Kinglong. Blackbeard Dicky laughed, it's not the time yet. I'm just reminding you. Tianyu immediately hung up the phone. In the New World, after Luffy and the others left Dressrosa, they also headed towards Zou to join Nami and the others. Luffy and the others came to Zou. They also got the news that Sanji was taken back by the family and forced him to marry the ant's daughter. Luffy and the others also went to the Ant's Cake Island without hesitation. Luffy and the others came to Cake Island. They fought with Cracker and the others as always. Aunt Charlotte Linlin also got the news right away, as Monkey D. Luffy. Garp's grandson, Auntie thought. Mom, do you need us to destroy them? Asked Baron Eggy. No, it's enough to have Cracker there. Big Mom still didn't take Luffy and the others to heart, and simply ignored it. Luffy and Cracker fought, but after all, the 2 were not in a life and death fight, so the 2 sides also fought a tie. At this moment, Cracker seemed to hear something and suddenly stopped. Hey, Biscuit Guy, why don't you fight? Luffy asked when he saw the other party suddenly stop. HMPH. Kid, you're lucky. I won't play with you here if I have something to do. Cracker turned around and planned to leave. Wait a minute, you haven't told me where is Sanji. Luffy yelled anxiously. Cracker stopped walking and looked back at Luffy. Want to find Sanji? He's at Germa 66. If you want to find him, just go by yourself. Cracker left without looking back. Luffy, who finally got Sanji's information, also went to join Nami and the others, and then went to Sanji's place together, the so-called Vinsmoke family, Germa 66. Cracker on the other side returned to Big Mom. Mom, I'm back. Cracker respectfully said. Come back. How are they, the Straw Hat Luffies? Big Mom asked. I told them where Sanji was, and I guess they're heading for the Vinsmoke family now. Cracker said. Yeah, that's it. There's next month, the dessert of the Food Kingdom, you can go there once, you can't miss it," said the ant. "Don't worry, Mom, if they dare to lose it, we will destroy their country," Cracker said coldly. Obviously it was not the first time he had done such a thing. "Yeah, go down." Ant then waved Cracker down. On the other side, Luffy also joined Nami and the others at the ship. "How's it going?" "Luffy, have you found Sanji's location?" Nami asked after seeing Luffy returning. "Well, I see. It seems to be in the Vinsmoke family, which is Germa 66. Luffy also said the information he got. "How should we get there? We don't have a permanent pointer." Nami worried. "As for their location, I have information here. They have been docked in this sea area for a while." Lola suddenly appeared in front of Nami and handed Nami a map. "Lola, long time no see." Nami ran over happily when she saw Lola, and hugged with Lola. "By the way, Lola, why are you here?" Nami asked curiously. "I'm back with Mom." "So," Laura explained. "The 3 emperors are your mother?" Nami asked in surprise. "Yes, but Mom has a lot of children, so I don't matter at all." Lola said. "You better get out of here. It's too dangerous here," Lola advised. "Okay, let's go now," Nami immediately decided after hearing Lola's words. Then Luffy and his party also got on the Wanli Sunshine and left here directly. "Lola, take care," everyone shouted. "I hope you don't come here again, it's too dangerous here," Lola thought to herself. Did they leave? Auntie also felt Luffy and the others leaving. It's okay to leave, the kid is still too ignorant, too capable of causing trouble. Under the guidance of the map, Luffy and the others also headed towards the location of the Vinsmoke family. Waiting for them is the famous killer family, Vinsmoke. I wonder if they can rescue Sanji smoothly. At this time, Sanji was in a bad situation in the Vinsmoke family. After all, as a victim, he had to obey, otherwise, East Blue's family would suffer. Chapter 342 Vinsmoke. Luffy and the others also followed the map to this sea area, and they also saw their destination, an island kingdom composed of dozens of large ships. This is the Vinsmoke family. Miscellaneous. At the world government, the plan of the Vinsmoke family was also discovered by the CP, and then reported to the Gorosei, 5 elders. The CP people reported that the Vinsmoke people planned to completely unite with the Big Mom, one of the 3 emperors, and planned to marry. "What do you think?" asked the blonde Gorosei, 5 elders. "They're courting death. What do they think our world government is for? Just a Vinsmoke family. It's just dead and alive." The long-haired Gorosei, 5 elders sneered. "As long as they get close to Big Mom, then we will wipe them out and let everyone know that the world government does not allow betrayal." Gorosei, 5 elders with a knife said coldly. "Yeah, watch over them, and if they get close, let Marine go out and wipe them out." Did they still think they're the original Vinsmoke family? Scar Gorosei, 5 elders full of disdain. "Let the CP keep watch." The birthmark Gorosei, 5 elders decided. At this time, Vinsmoke Judge, the leader of the Vinsmoke family, was talking with his 4 children in the conference room. If they didn't know if they continued, their death was coming. "Next, as long as we marry the Big Mom pirates, we can get close to them completely, and we can use their power to restore the glory of our Vinsmoke family, return to North Blue, and regain control of North Blue." Vinsmoke Judge was excited arrived, in the imagination of the beautiful vision of the future. It's also his honor to be able to make use of that waste. Vinsmoke IG laughed. That's right, we're going to rule North Blue again." Vinsmoke Niji also said. "I'm really looking forward to that day." Vinsmoke Yuji said. Just then, the siren blared. "What happened? Has someone hacked?" Vinsmoke Judge stood up. "Report, sir, someone has invaded, and the intruder is a gang of Straw Hat pirates." A member of the Vinsmoke family came down and reported. "Is it here to save Sanji? It's a pity. Sanji has been sent away by us, and at this time he has gone to Auntie's Cake Island." "They are late," Vinsmoke Judge said. "However, did they think we're here because we want to come here? At least we have to teach them a lesson," Vinsmoke IG said. "Yes, Yes, let those hillbillies see our power. Vinsmoke Niji said. Is this really good? The strength of those people is not simple. After all, they are the characters who defeated Doflamingo. You also know the strength of Doflamingo. Are we really going to fight them? Vinsmoke Reiju said. What are you afraid of? Even Doflamingo will suffer a crushing defeat under our army. What is a mere Straw Hat Pirates group? Vinsmoke Yuji said indifferently. The majesty of the Vinsmoke family is inviolable, said Vinsmoke Judge, the head of the Vinsmoke family. After hearing Judge's words, Reiju also knew that the battle was inevitable, and was a little helpless. As for the other three, they were already excited. Then, let's send our army first. Let's see how their strength is. Vinsmoke Ichi said excitedly. Send 200 dead men out. Vinsmoke Judge looked at the Straw Hat Party in the monitor coldly. Understood, Vinsmoke IG excitedly said, and following his control, he dispatched 200 dead soldiers and rushed towards Luffy and the others. Luffy, who was groping for going, also found someone coming. Che, have you been found? Sokka pulled out his knife in disdain and got ready to fight, as did the others. Luffy also looked at the person in front of him seriously. Then, a team of 200 troops came to Luffy and them. Hey, where the hell is Sanji? Give us back our buddies. Luffy yelled. However, the dead men didn't say anything at all, and rushed towards Luffy and the others without stopping. Damn, then I'll shoot you all. Rubber machine guns. When Luffy saw the opponent's appearance, he was immediately angry, and attacked directly. Sokka also slashed out with a sword energy. Usopp launched a slingshot. Nami also controlled the weather to form lightning. Brook slashed out with a sword energy. Frankie instantly transformed into a robot, and Chopper was eating after getting off the blue wave ball. The two sides fought together in an instant. Although there are a large number of opponents, and they are the dead men trained by the Vinsmoke War family, but facing Luffy and the others who are offering hundreds of millions of bounties, it is still not enough to watch, and they are quickly defeated by Luffy and the others. It's pretty good. Those people, Vinsmoke IG said after watching his dead men were defeated, but he didn't make any moves. Obviously he still didn't take Luffy and the others in his eyes. After all, after such a result, it can also be done easily. Let's go and teach them a good lesson. Vinsmoke Niji and Yuji said, eager to try. Okay, go you two, don't be ashamed, Vinsmoke Judge said. It's just a mere hillbilly. How could I possibly lose to them? Vinsmoke Niji and Yuji walked straight out, heading towards the location of Luffy's group. After defeating the dead soldiers of the army, Luffy and the others also continued going. At this moment, Luffy suddenly stopped. Someone is coming. Luffy looked ahead and said. An enemy again. Sokka laughed. The battle just now was just a warm-up for him. At this moment, Niji and Yuji came to Luffy and the others, and Luffy and the others also looked at the people who came. Are you guys a rubbish partner? You really look weak. Sure enough, a rubbish's partner is also a rubbish, Yuji said, looking at Luffy and the others with disdain. What is the relationship between you and Sanji? Nami asked, looking at the way the other party and Sanji imagined. Ah, it's a beauty. Niji and Yuji immediately looked at Nami like a pig. Looking at this, it looks exactly like Sanji. Sokka said. Sanji, it's that trash. He has been escorted to Big Mom's Cake Island as a marriage item. No way, who made him a trash? Niji said indifferently. How could this be? Nami and the others never thought why Sanji's family would say that to him. Have you said enough? Luffy said in a low voice. Chapter 343 Cake Island. Have you said enough? Luffy said in a low voice. Down pointing arrow open hollow corner bracket insect close hollow corner bracket. What are you talking about? Niji asked. I said you've said enough. Luffy shouted angrily. One mouthful, one piece of trash, is that how you treat Sanji? He's your family after all. HMPH. It's really stupid. Here, only the strong are needed, not the trash. Niji said indifferently. Really? How dare you treat my partner like this? I'll kill you myself. Luffy roared. He was really angry. He regarded his partner as a family member, and he couldn't stand this kind of thing the most. I really don't know how high the sky is, thinking that defeating Doflamingo made you so arrogant. If you can, come and try it. IG looked at Luffy disdainfully. Rubber bazooka. Luffy shot out in anger, extending his hands back, and then using his strength to hit IG. This kind of attack, the flaws are too big. How on earth did you come to the new world? IG directly dodged to the side to avoid Luffy's attack, blast shot and kick. IG directly kicks on Luffy's arms in a huge explosion. Boom! Luffy's hands were hit by the explosion, and then returned to their original shape. At the moment of the explosion, Luffy used armament hockey to defend his arms, so he didn't take any damage. It's not over yet. Electromagnetic crush. IG rushed towards Luffy without stopping, and kicked Luffy again. Nothing works. I saw Luffy grab IG. I'm a rubber man. Electric shocks are useless to me. Rubber bazooka. Luffy yelled, and then he punched IG away, and IG was also punched by Luffy. It flew, and then directly hit the building in the distance. Are you alright, IG? Yuji didn't expect it to change so quickly when he saw this, so he asked. It really hurts. IG stood up and covered the abdomen that was hit by Luffy. I didn't expect it to be careless. Next, prepare for me. Straw Hat Luffy, IG said, and then appeared directly in front of Luffy and punched him. Luffy's observation hockey also directly sensed IG's attack, and immediately dodged to avoid the past, and then another move, rubber machine guns. Countless fist shadows directly hit IG at close range. IG shot flying again. Seeing that IG was knocked into the air again, Yuji, who was watching from the side, also knew that Luffy was not easy to deal with. After all, he knew IG's strength. He was able to shoot IG so many times in such a short period of time. It directly showed Luffy's strength, so Yuji took Luffy and the others seriously this time. They were able to hit IG many times. It seems that they have some strength. Vinsmoke Judge said while looking at the scene on the monitor. Need our help, Niji said. No, there is no need to fight them now. Aren't they looking for Sanji? Let them go. I see if they dare to go to Big Mom's territory to find him. Vinsmoke Judge said. Okay, then I'll let them stop fighting. Seeing this, Reiju also informed IG directly. Did you hear? That's what my father meant. There's no need to continue fighting with them. There's no need for that. IG also stopped when he heard the sound coming from the earphone. Although he was a little unwilling, he still responded, I see. Then IG looked at Luffy. What's the matter? Don't want to fight? Luffy looked at the other side strangely, not understanding why he suddenly stopped fighting. You're lucky. If you want to find Sanji, go to Big Mom's Cake Island to find it if you can. HMPH. After IG finished speaking, he left here directly, and Yuji also left immediately after seeing this. What's going on? Luffy wondered. Don't you understand this? The strength you showed made them not dare to fight easily, Nami said with a punch on Luffy's head. What? Luffy felt helpless. Let's go. Since Sanji isn't here, let's leave. Luffy also left here and headed towards the ship. When everyone saw this, they left here directly. After all, this is Sanji's family, so they can't be demolished. So everyone also left here and returned to the boat. The boat continued to leave here and headed back towards Cake Island. Luffy, are we still going to Cake Island? Nami asked. Of course, Sanji is our partner. How can we leave him there alone? Luffy said seriously, if anyone dares to stop me, I will shoot him away. When you get to Cake Island, hold back for me, that's the 3 emperors. If you mess around, we'll be doomed, we don't know how we died. Nami warned. That's right, you must listen to Nami this time. Usopp couldn't help but say. Don't worry, I'm not messing around. Luffy laughed. Your words are the most unreliable. The others said in unison. When Luffy and the others went to Cake Island, Sanji had been escorted to Big Mom's Cake Island, and an explosive collar was placed around his neck to prevent him from escaping. Is this the third son of the Vinsmoke family? Sanji came to the ant, and the ant asked. Here is the candidate for this marriage, the third son of the Vinsmoke family. Respected Emperor, said the butler of the Vinsmoke family who escorted Sanji. The chief asked me to say hello, they will be here soon. Yeah, very good. Then go and meet Pudding first. Big Mom waved and let them down. Big Mom Pirates also brought Sanji to Charlotte Pudding and left. Are you the person my mother asked me to marry? Pudding looked at each other curiously. She was still relatively satisfied with Sanji. Although this is the first time we meet. Ah, she's a big beauty. Sanji immediately showed a pig-like appearance, even though he was wearing an explosive collar around his neck. Looking at you, are you willing to marry me? Pudding said after seeing Sanji's appearance. After hearing Pudding's words, Sanji immediately calmed down. If I get married, do I have to quit the Straw Hat Pirates? Sanji asked. Of course. Mom is one of the 3 emperors, how could she allow you to join other pirate groups? Pudding said. Really? Sanji thought for a moment, then, I'm really sorry. I still have my partner and my dreams, so I'm sorry, I refuse. Sanji said seriously. Chapter 344 Surrender. After hearing Sanji's refusal, Pudding was also a little surprised. After all, after learning that she would marry the third son of the Vinsmoke family, she used the intelligence network of the Big Mom Pirates to search for Sanji's intelligence, so she was also knowing what kind of person Sanji is. Pudding was extremely surprised by his rejection. Proportional square root proportional. Seeing Pudding's bland appearance, Sanji was also surprised. Aren't you angry? Why am I so angry? However, don't run away. After all, once you run away, the collar on your neck will definitely explode. Pudding reminded kindly. That's why I came here. Sanji was also a little helpless. Then you stay here for now. Until you think of a good idea. Pudding said. Next, Sanji stayed at Cake Island, and soon, the Vinsmoke family came here, and their speed was faster than Luffy and the others, and Vinsmoke Judge also came directly in front of Auntie. Respected Emperor, I am Vinsmoke Judge. Vinsmoke Judge said respectfully, but did not dare to do anything in front of the ant. You are here, then our marriage can also begin, said the ant. Everything is as you want. Vinsmoke Judge had no objection. That's good, the wedding will be held in a week. The ant decided directly. After the marriage, we are also people in a chariot, so I hope to get the support of the Big Mom Pirates. Vinsmoke Judge said, this is the real reason for the marriage between the 2 parties. What do you want to do? The ant asked lightly. Support our Vinsmoke family to return to North Blue and completely occupy North Blue, said Vinsmoke Judge, who had been carried away by the honor of restoring the Vinsmoke family, and had no idea whether it was possible. North Blue? Are you kidding? No matter how strong our power is, it's still in the New World. North Blue, that's Marine's territory. Do you think I'll go to war with Marine for you? Vinsmoke Judge. No, I just want you to be the backers of our Vinsmoke family. We will do things like occupying North Blue. You are our backers, so that the world government will not dare to attack us. Vinsmoke Judge said. That's it. So what are you paying for? If there is no price, it is impossible to do this, said the ant, showing some intentions. After seeing Auntie's performance, Vinsmoke Judge was also excited. In his opinion, Auntie was obviously moved, so he directly stated his proposal. All the research materials and results of our Vinsmoke family can be given to us. How are you? Yeah, Auntie thought for a while. Okay, if that's the case, then I agree. Auntie said. Okay, I'll go back and sort out the data immediately, and then give it to you. Vinsmoke Judge also left here and went to sort out the data. After Vinsmoke Judge left, someone also came out, and it was the 3 generals who stared at them. Mom, do you really believe that he will give us all the information? Cracker said, he didn't believe it was true. How could he give it all to us? He must just give some unimportant things. But this is enough, said the ant. To be honest, he is really courting death. He even wants to completely occupy North Blue. If this is the case, I am afraid that the first person who will not let them go is the world government. Another 3 generals said. I'm courting death myself, and I can't blame others. He thinks that he is so important that he deserves us to compete with the world government. The ant said disdainfully. You have self-knowledge. If that's the case, then, Mom, does the wedding need to happen in a week's time? Cracker asked. Go on, said Big Mom. On the other hand, Vinsmoke Judge was also happy to leave the ant's place, and also came to Sanji. You are here. Sanji said after seeing his father. You will marry the Big Mom pirates as a bond in a week, you know. Vinsmoke Judge didn't have a good face. I won't agree to a marriage, you just die. Sanji refused directly. Do you think you have the right to refuse? Vinsmoke Judge looked at Sanji disdainfully. If you don't agree, East Blue's head will appear in front of you. You should know we have this power. Vinsmoke Judge threatened Road. How did you know? Sanji never thought that the other party would know of Zeph's existence. Ubiquitous intelligence network, this is power. Vinsmoke Judge said, so, you only have to agree, there is no other choice. I get it. Sanji finally gave in. He knew the power of the Vinsmoke family, so he didn't want to see anything wrong with Zeph. Humph. Vinsmoke Judge saw this, and left here directly and went back to Germa 66. Father, how is it? Is the deal done? Ichi asked. They agreed, and the prices are Vinsmoke family's research materials. Vinsmoke Judge said, pack up our family's research materials and send them to the Big Mom pirates. Of course, the core parts don't need to be given to them. Vinsmoke Judge said, he also knows that some things cannot be given. Okay, Lord Father. Seeing this, IG also left here and went to sort out the information. Time passed quickly. Luffy and the others finally came to Cake Island, and they also quietly lurked on Cake Island along the map given by Pudding. Nami, what should we do now? Now, we don't know where Sanji is. Luffy asked Nami helplessly. How do I know? Nami punched Luffy directly. By the way, we can find Lola. Nami suddenly thought of it, and then took out Lola's Vivre card and followed the instructions of the Vivre card to find Lola went. Finally, everyone found Lola on the edge of the Cake Island. Lola, we are looking for you again, we need your help. Nami said after seeing Lola. It's Nami. Why are you back again? Laura said strangely when she saw Nami and the others. We followed the map you gave to the Vinsmoke family, only to find out that Sanji had been sent here, so we came back. Nami explained the reason, so we want to find out now. Sanji. Chapter 345 Conditions. After hearing Nami's explanation, Lola also knew what happened. Since Sanji has already arrived at Cake Island, then I'll ask Pudding. She should know that she is the object of Sanji's marriage. Lola then he took Nami and the others towards the place where Pudding lived. She down pointing arrow bug she. How is that Pudding? Nami asked. Pudding. She is a very kind person, a very good person. Lola said, it's here, I'll take you there. Lola opened the door casually. Be careful with me, Nami warned the others. Pudding, I'm here to see you, with some friends. Lola said as she walked in. It turned out to be Sister Lola. Who did you bring? Pudding also walked out and looked at the person Lola brought. Yo, hello, Luffy greeted when he saw Pudding. So it's you, Straw Hat Pirates, are you here to find Sanji? Pudding asked. Yes, can you tell us where Sanji is? Luffy said in a hurry. Of course, I'll take you to see Sanji now. Pudding said, and then walked out. Luffy and the others followed. You're a really nice guy. Luffy said, looking at Pudding. Really, thank you for the compliment. Pudding smiled and didn't say anything else. He quickly brought Luffy and the others to a room. There were no guards here. After all, they didn't think Sanji dared to escape. This is it, go in. Pudding said. Luffy rushed in immediately. Sanji, we're here to save you. Luffy shouted, and the others walked in one after another. Why are you here? Sanji looked at Luffy and the others in surprise. He never thought that Luffy and the others would find this place. How did you come here? One of the Big Mom's headquarters. Is it that easy to get in? You said this. Lola and Pudding brought us here. Luffy said casually. You better get out of here. If Big Mom finds out, you'll be finished. Sanji said anxiously. No, we're here to save you. How can we leave you here alone? Luffy said angrily. Sanji was silent for a while. Let's go. Sanji said with difficulty, although I don't want to leave the Straw Hat Pirates, but this time there is really no way. What do you mean? Luffy asked. Yes, Sanji, we can leave secretly. Nami said. It's not like that. The point is, if I leave, then Uncle Zeph from East Blue is dead. Otherwise, how can I stay here? Even with an explosive collar around my neck. Sanji said. His troubles. This. Luffy and the others were also silent. They also knew the power of the three emperors. If they really shot East Blue, Zeph would definitely not be an opponent. Then will we just watch you leave? Luffy was so unwilling, he didn't want to lose a partner like this. Everyone was completely silent. There was nothing to say, and they had no good way. Lola and Pudding didn't say anything, and the two of them had no good way. After all, never doubt the power of the three emperors. No, whoever dares to take away my partner, I will kill him, even if he is some killer family, or some three emperor pirates, I will kill them all. Luffy said firmly, he would never agree to lose a partner. Then what are you going to do? You don't really want to fight the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom pirates, do you? Pudding said, looking at Luffy. I don't know, just take one step at a time. There is always a way, Sanji, just wait for me here. Luffy laughed. Hey, I was really defeated by you, so just talk like this. Nami said helplessly. There was no other way for everyone, so they just rested at Sanji's place. On the second day, Luffy suddenly shouted, I figured out a way. Luffy stood up and ran out screaming. Before everyone could react, Luffy had already run away without a trace. What do you say Luffy wants to do? Sircar asked. I have a bad feeling. Nami said helplessly, she just couldn't stand Luffy like this sometimes. Big Mom. Luffy shouted all the way, and ran in the direction he sensed where Big Mom was. The people on Cake Island also found Luffy, and Luffy ran out before he could stop him. Luffy's action also alerted all the people on the Cake Island, and the Cake Island became alert for a while. Luffy also came directly in front of Big Mom. Here, the three generals were all here, looking at Luffy. Little devil, you're here again, don't think I won't do anything to you. Auntie looked at Luffy lightly. Even though Luffy had an amazing background, she was a little angry. I have a deal I want to do with you. Luffy looked at Big Mom seriously. Oh, let's hear it, said Auntie. Let go of Sanji. As the price, no matter what the conditions, I will take over as the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates. Luffy was extremely serious at this time, without the slightest smile. What are you kidding? Do you know who I am? Shouted the ant. If we let him go like this, where are our faces? Then what do you want to be able to let Sanji go? He is a member of our Straw Hat Pirates and must sail with us. Luffy said. The marriage will continue, but after that, he can continue sailing with you. As a price, then it's up to you to defeat my minister. The ant looked at Luffy and said. Okay, that's what you said. Luffy said seriously when he saw this. He knew this was the best way. Okay, who are you going on? Said the ant. Need me, said Charlotte Parrosparrow, the eldest son of the Charlotte family. Leave it to me. After all, the previous battle is not over yet. Cracker stood up and came to Luffy. Your opponent is me. What? It's you again, the cookie maker, Luffy said, looking at Cracker. Then, the two of you will fight. Until one of you falls. The ant looked at the two and said, the reason why the ant would agree like this, there is no way. After all, Luffy's identity is really amazing. That madman Garp first, not to mention, even the Revolutionary Army is not something she can deal with, so Auntie is taking this as a chance. Chapter 346 vs Cracker. Even though Auntie is very powerful, she is still a lot worse than the Revolutionary Army, so if it is not necessary, she doesn't want to make enemies with the Revolutionary Army. She's not easy to mess with either. Miscellaneous. Kid, I won't let you go so easily this time. Cracker showed a hideous expression, obviously annoyed that he didn't beat Luffy last time. I will never lose. Luffy looked at Cracker seriously, ready to fight. Then, try to beat me, Cracker said, and at the same time, 2 pairs of arms appeared on his body again. A total of 6 arms above and below held the sword, and then charged towards Luffy. Armed rubber machine guns. Luffy wrapped armament hockey directly, and then punched Cracker with a punch. Armed hard biscuit. Cracker directly covered armament hockey on his biscuit shield, and then resisted Luffy's attack, rolling pretzels. After resisting Luffy's attack, Cracker directly cut out several swords. Towards Luffy. Second gear. Luffy directly used second gear, then quickly dodged Cracker's attack, and appeared in front of Cracker, armed rubber bazooka. Luffy hit with one move. You're still tender. Armed with hard biscuit. Cracker's observation hockey also sensed Luffy's attack, and the biscuit shield directly blocked his face. Boom. Luffy's attack hit the biscuit shield, but it had no effect. The hard biscuit shield directly blocked Luffy's attack, and Cracker just took a few steps back. Cut. Cracker directly slashed at Luffy with 6 swords all over his body. Armament hardened. Luffy directly hardened armament hockey all over his body, and then resisted Cracker's slash, and the 2 sides fought directly. The Cracker wrapped itself with biscuits as armor, was also not afraid of Luffy's attack, and the 2 sides also fought close quarters, but after all, Luffy was better than armament hockey. On Cracker. Boom. Cracker accepted the punch abruptly, and then kept retreating. The biscuit armor on his body also cracked. Cracker saw the cracked armor, and he took it off directly, revealing his own body. Also, what a capable brat. Cracker said, looking at Luffy. But, how do you deal with this one? Biscuit army. I saw that in front of Luffy, with the use of Cracker's ability, a large number of biscuits formed a human shape, and then soldiers with long swords appeared in front of Luffy. Luffy also watched this scene seriously. Ha 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 ha, what's up? This is my devil fruit ability, which can create an infinite army of cookies. Even if it consumes it, it can kill you. Cracker looked at Luffy proudly, and then controlled the army of cookies to charge towards Luffy. In the face of such a large number of attacks, Luffy also ran around, punching from time to time, knocking out a biscuit soldier, and then a large number of soldiers attacked. Luffy was also a little embarrassed, and at this time, a large number of biscuit soldiers attacked when he came over. Luffy also attacked everywhere, with both fists and feet attacking everywhere, but the number of counters was too many. At this time, a biscuit soldier was slashing over with a sword. Luffy had no choice. His hands and feet just flew out, and he had not retracted it. He could only open his mouth and bite, only to hear a click. A biscuit soldier it was bitten by Luffy. At this moment, Luffy seemed to feel something and bit his mouth. Ah. It's actually edible, it's a biscuit. Luffy was excited. I think of a solution to your soldiers. Luffy flashed. Cracker had a bad premonition at this time. Before he could react, he saw Luffy quickly appear in front of a biscuit soldier, and then took a bite. The biscuit soldier was directly eaten by Luffy. Yes, just eat. I saw that Luffy didn't stop at all, and quickly appeared in front of one after another of the cookie soldiers, and then quickly ate the cookie soldiers one after another. Cracker was surprised to see this scene, and other people watching the battle were also surprised. With this scene, they never thought that there is still such a trick to deal with Cracker. Before Cracker could react, Luffy had already eaten up all the soldiers that Cracker had made, and saw that Luffy had turned into a huge sphere, and then burped, "Ah. I'm so full, I can't take it anymore, your attack is really powerful," Luffy said with emotion. Cracker was directly angry watching this scene, especially after hearing Luffy's words, "Are you mocking me?" Cracker yelled angrily. What? Luffy asked, wondering why Cracker was so angry. If that's the case, then let you see my anger. See how you continue to fight like this. Cracker rushed over angrily. Third gear. When Luffy saw Cracker approaching, he also directly used third gear, Rubber Giant Rocket. Luffy's huge right arm punched the rushing Cracker. Don't underestimate people. Armed with hardened cookies, Cracker faced Luffy's attack and directly used the cookie shield to defend. Boom! The two sides' attacks collided, and the two couldn't help roaring. However, what people didn't expect was that Luffy's huge attack directly shattered Cracker's defensive shield, and Cracker was directly knocked into the air. Cough! Cracker stood up. Although he was attacked by the opponent, he still didn't suffer much damage, but a little blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. It really hurts. You know I'm most afraid of pain. Cracker was outraged. After the third gear, Luffy also changed back to the original, and the original huge size also returned to its original shape. Looking at Cracker, who was rushing directly towards him again, Luffy also reacted directly. However, the angry Cracker directly showed his terrifying strength called Sanjiangxing, and appeared in front of Luffy in an instant, and then he punched Luffy away. Luffy was directly knocked into the air, and then hit the distant on the wall. Cracker didn't stop at all, and appeared in front of Luffy again, holding a long sword in his hand. Give me death. Kid, I don't want to play with you anymore. Die, Cracker said without hesitation. The sword went down, towards Luffy's heart. Luffy also shrank his eyes, looking at the sword stabbed at him. Chapter 347. Seeing Cracker's slashing sword, Luffy's pupils shrank too, and then his body moved subconsciously. At the critical moment, he avoided the fatal wound, and Cracker's long sword stabbed Luffy in the shoulder. Down pointing arrow open hollow corner bracket insect close hollow corner bracket. Then Luffy punched Cracker without hesitation, then stood up, drew his sword, and threw it aside. Cracker used his ability to form a sword again, and then appeared in front of Luffy again at a very fast speed, and slashed with another sword. Luffy also dodged with a short body, and then Cracker kicked Luffy away again, then followed up, again with a sword, stabbed Luffy, and then Luffy was knocked back again, and Luffy, who was knocked away, stood staggeringly. He got up, ignoring the injuries on his body. These were just minor injuries. Little devil, you finally know the strength of this uncle. You can't win, Cracker said, looking at Luffy. I must defeat you, and then continue sailing with Sanji and the others. This is my responsibility as the captain. As the captain of the Straw Hat Pirates, how can I give up my partner? Luffy said seriously. But, looking at you, how could you possibly be my opponent? Ha 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 ha, Cracker laughed. He didn't think Luffy could beat him. Fourth gear bouncer. Luffy directly used his strongest move at this stage, transformed into a sturdy man, covered with armament haki, bounced all over, and charged towards Kelegia. So fast. Cracker was surprised when he saw Luffy's speed like this. At the same time, a strong sense of threat rose in his heart, and he looked at Luffy vigilantly. The strongest form of Luffy appeared in front of Cracker in an instant, and he punched out, and Cracker also slashed out the instant Luffy appeared. Luffy's attack and the sword collided together, making a metal collision sound, and then the two sides attacked each other again. The two sides fought evenly. Even if Cracker and the sword used all their strength, they didn't hold back at all, which surprised everyone present. They never thought that Luffy, a rookie, would be so powerful that he could compete with Cracker like this. The battle has come to this point, and the surrounding ground has also been directly destroyed by the battle of the two people. However, the two sides still did not stop at all. They continued to fight, another blow, and then the two of them retreated at the same time, both of them panting. Rough, looking at each other. Armed wave pretzel. Cracker stabbed the sword in his hand directly, and then a wave state slash went towards Luffy's heart. Armed the rubber king of the apes. Luffy roared, his huge right fist wrapped around armament haki, and now Cracker's attack went away. Boom! The two sides collided, and the aftermath went all around. The smoke enveloped the two people. The people watching also directly used observation hockey to perceive it. After finding that there was nothing wrong with the two people, they breathed a sigh of relief. After the aftermath, I saw two people appearing in front of everyone. Both of them stood there, out of breath, staring at each other. Obviously, the two sides in the battle just now were on the same level, so Luffy continued. When planning to attack. Enough, Ant said, and everyone looked at Ant, including Cracker and Luffy. Enough, don't continue fighting, I recognize your strength, Straw Hat Luffy. Ant said looking at Luffy. Ah, so that means you agreed with Sanji to continue sailing with us? Luffy asked. Yes, after the wedding, you can continue sailing, said Auntie. Great, you're a really nice guy, Luffy said happily. Cracker heard Ant's words. He also put away his weapon, and then stepped aside. Since Mom said that there is no need to continue fighting, then he would have no objection, and he had nothing to ask. Luffy, who got the news from Big Mom, also left here directly, and then went to the place where Sanji was. He finally didn't have to lose his partner. Luffy left. Pudding also said, Mom, why did you agree to their terms? Pudding wondered. Ant was silent for a while. I just don't want to provoke two enemies for myself for no reason, Ant said faintly. After everyone conditional on the Ant's words, there was also a period of silence. They also knew what the Ant's words meant, so everyone was also silent for a while. Luffy left. He also ran back to Sanji immediately. Nami and the others looked at Luffy, who had disappeared for a long time and then reappeared. After all, this is the headquarters of the pirate group of one of the three emperors, Big Mom. But seeing Luffy's wounds all over, they were also anxious. Luffy, what happened? Nami asked anxiously, while Chopper was treating Luffy's wounds. It's nothing, it's just a fight, Luffy said indifferently. However, Luffy didn't care. The others were shocked. Who the hell did you fight with? Nami was so anxious that she was about to cry. Did you know that this is the headquarters of the three emperors? If you piss them off, we'll all die here. Don't worry, you have a good captain who went to Mommy's place for you, and got into a fight, so Mommy agreed that Sanji could continue sailing with you. Lola and Pudding were back here at this time, facing them explained. Sanji was silent for a while after hearing the news. Thank you, Luffy. We're mates. Luffy laughed. Don't be so self-assured next time. What if there is an emergency? You are lucky this time. Nami immediately educated Luffy. However, Sanji's marriage has not been dissolved. Luffy said. It's fine. At least it's good to be able to continue sailing with you guys. Sanji said indifferently, and now that he has figured it out, he is not so resistant. What, did you agree to our marriage? Pudding said, looking at Sanji. I'm sorry, but I don't have any other choice, don't I? Sanji said, although we don't know each other very well, and we don't have feelings yet, but I will take my responsibility and respect you. Sanji seriously. In this case, although it was my mother's order, I still agreed to it. Pudding also laughed. Although she also yearned for freedom, she couldn't resist her mother after all. Great, finally a perfect solution. Nami laughed when she saw the result. Ah, I'm so hungry. At this moment, Luffy suddenly exclaimed. Fuck me. Nami knocked Luffy away with one punch, and everyone laughed. Chapter 348 Cooperation. Next, Luffy and the others stopped at Cake Island. They also had to wait for the end of Sanji's wedding. A week later, the Vinsmoke family members also came here. Of course, they brought their research data. Infinity Miscellany _. The next thing is very simple. Sanji is also married to Pudding, which is also impossible. After all, neither of them can resist, but Sanji also adheres to the way of knighthood and fully respects Pudding. The two sides are also respectful. No bottom line was crossed. We don't have a relationship yet. So I give you complete freedom. We are just pretending to be married. You can pursue your own happiness. Gentleman, Sanji said. You really are a gentleman. If Really, with you, it would feel good. Pudding laughed. Sanji didn't say anything. I will continue to go to sea in 2 days. I know, Pudding said. Then, you can rest. I'll go outside. Sanji also left here, came to the living room, and spent the night. Luffy and the others also ate and drank on Cake Island for several days, and then finally went to sea. Together with Sanji, the Straw Hat Pirates were finally complete, and Luffy and the others also went to their next destination. Mom, they're leaving, Pudding said. Really? It's better to leave, said the ant. It's just a marriage anyway. We've got what we want, how about it? Their research data. Very well, Mom, very important to our research, Pudding said. That's good. The ant was also very satisfied with the result. The Vinsmoke family also returned to their family headquarters after the wedding, and then began to prepare for action. They were about to show their skills, and the restoration of the family's glory was just around the corner. Holy Land, Mariajoy, Gorosei, 5 Elders Office, Master Gorosei, 5 Elders, the CP people have confirmed that the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom Pirates have united and married, and the Vinsmoke family also gave their research materials to the Big Mom Pirates. As for what the Big Mom Pirates paid, we still don't know. The CP person reported. Well, I see, you go down. Gorosei, 5 Elders said, and the CP people also left here directly. Now that it's confirmed that the Vinsmoke family and Big Mom are united, what do you guys think? Said the blonde Gorosei, 5 Elders. Kill the chicken to warn the monkeys. Want them to know that our world government is not that easy to mess with, so leave if you want to leave. What do you think of our world government? Gorosei, 5 Elders got a little angry. Destroy them then. The world government doesn't need betrayal, said the knife-wielding Gorosei, 5 Elders grimly. The key point is that they've been in the New World now, so we don't have much to do with them right now, so they have nothing to fear. Said Scar Gorosei, 5 Elders. Didn't they always want to restore the glory of the family? Then they will return to North Blue sooner or later, so we'll just wait and do nothing for now. Said the long-haired Gorosei, 5 Elders. Okay, that's it for now. The Gorosei, 5 Elders all agreed. The New World, the Vinsmoke family, Father, although we can completely occupy the entire North Blue with our strength, the world government will definitely not let us like this. How should we deal with the threat of the world government? Reiju asked. As long as we occupy North Blue at the fastest speed, then with our special ships that can freely travel between North Blue and the New World, with the backing of the Big Mom Pirates, even the world government will not dare to provoke us at will. After all, our ships can cross the Yuhi soil. Vinsmoke Judge said to himself. So that's how it is. The back of the Yuhi continent where North Blue is located is the location of the Big Mom Pirates, so are we uniting with the Big Mom Pirates? Reiju also finally knew Judge's plan. Of course, that's why I joined them. Vinsmoke Judge was full of confidence. It's just that things will be so simple and successful. Reiju didn't say these words, but thought in her heart that she knew that her father would never listen to her advice now. Hopefully, everything will go well by then. Quote. The Vinsmoke family is preparing intensively, while the Big Mom Pirates seem to be calm. Vinsmoke Judge also informed the ant of his plan, and the ant also had some thoughts after getting the news. Mom, if it follows the Vinsmoke family's plan, there is still a lot of success. Charlotte Perospero said. If they can really occupy North Blue completely, or occupy more than half of North Blue before the world government reflects it, then I don't mind really cooperating with them, really uniting. Ant said, but, is the world government really that easy to deal with? Their spies are all pervasive. I'm afraid that as soon as they act, the world government will know about it. Ant obviously dislikes the Vinsmoke family. If the world government is so easy to deal with, the world government will it exist for such a long time? Mom doesn't like the Vinsmoke family, Pudding said. Now, the 4 seas are completely under the control of the world government, and that is where they control the most powerful place. Where is it so easy to occupy? The Vinsmoke family is simply delusional. Cracker is also not optimistic about the Vinsmoke family at all. Let's just wait and see what happens. said the ant. Okay, Mom, everyone agreed. A month passed quickly, and after a month of preparation, the Vinsmoke family was fully prepared. Now is the best time, we have united with the Big Mom pirates, and they also agreed to support us. So, now is the time for us to go out, now is the best time, everything is to restore the glory of the Vinsmoke family, everything is for the Vinsmoke, set off, march into North Blue. Vinsmoke Judge shouted confidently, he was already looking forward to becoming a Vinsmoke, the greatest patriarch in family history. Everything is for the Vinsmoke family. IG, Niji and Yuji also shouted excitedly, only Reiju had a bad feeling. Under the command of Vinsmoke Judge, the Vinsmoke family activated all their fighting power, and all the dead men cultivated by the family also took the special ship of the Vinsmoke family, and then came to the Yuhi land. Let's go, North Blue. Vinsmoke Judge exclaimed excitedly, he had already seen the dawn of victory, and in an instant, all the ships climbed towards the Yuhi soil continent and began to climb the Yuhi soil continent. Chapter 349 Attacks North Blue. Vinsmoke family didn't know was that they had just started their operations, and their information had been reported to Gorosei, 5 elders by the CP people, and Gorosei, 5 elders also got the news right away. Operator at G at Worm Operator. Has the Vinsmoke family finally acted? Gorosei, 5 elders said. Then, dispatch the Marines. This time, they must be wiped out, the world government doesn't need traitors. Gorosei, 5 elders said. Okay, just let Marine know, Gorosei, 5 elders said. The new Marine headquarters, the Marshal's office, Tianyu's special phone worm suddenly rang. Hey, is it Kinglong? I'm Gorosei, 5 elders. The voice of Gorosei, 5 elders came over. It's Lord Gorosei, 5 elders. Is something wrong? Tianyu asked. The Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom pirates are united. They want to completely occupy the North Blue. Now the Vinsmoke family has begun to cross the Yuhi soil continent and is heading for the North Blue. You go and completely destroy the Vinsmoke family. Gorosei, 5 elders said. Is it really wiped out? They are the allied countries of the world government. Tianyu said. The world government doesn't need traitors. Gorosei, 5 elders asserted. I understand, Tianyu also said, and then hung up the phone. Let all admiral who can reach come over. Then, Tianyu also waited. After a while, Akainu, Kuzan and Borsellino also arrived, and the other 3 did not arrive because of their missions. Any missions? Akainu asked. Well, the world government asked us to exterminate the Vinsmoke family, so I plan to send 2 admiral to go, just Akainu and Kuzan. Tianyu said. The Vinsmoke family, aren't they a member of the world government? Borsellino asked curiously. Akainu and Kuzan also looked at Tianyu. I got clear information that the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom pirates are married, they are united, the Vinsmoke family is about to attack North Blue, so the world government is also planning to kill the chickens and set an example for others. Tianyu explained. Joining with pirates is not a pity to die. Akainu said coldly, showing no mercy at all. For him, as long as he joined pirates, it was a sin. Then, go ahead with your troops, I will give you 5 vice admiral, 10,000 elite marine soldiers, remember, don't have too many casualties, our goal is the 3 emperors. Tianyu reminded. Don't worry, I'll do it myself, said Akainu, who was kind to his subordinates. Well, let's go, hurry up and try to get in before the Vinsmoke family attacks North Blue. Tianyu said. Yes. Akainu and Kuzan also set off immediately, leading the group towards North Blue. North Blue, the Vinsmoke family has come to the first kingdom of North Blue. This is the first step in our restoration of glory. Reiju, here is yours, you lead the people to attack this place. Vinsmoke Judge said. Leave it to me. Although Reiju was a little reluctant, he still agreed. Very well, IG, you lead the attack on the next kingdom. Niji and Yuji, too, is there any problem? Vinsmoke Judge said. There is absolutely no problem. With the combat power here, how could it be our opponent? IG and the others said to themselves. Okay, I'm going to take 5 kingdoms in one day today, and let them see the power of our Vinsmoke family. Vinsmoke Judge said excitedly, and Ichi and the others were also excited. So, the 5 people also took their team to the 5 kingdoms of North Blue, and the shells went to the port of the kingdom. Boom, boom, a huge explosion sounded, enemy attack. A sharp voice sounded, and the entire country fell into turmoil in an instant. Give it to me, completely occupy this country. Vinsmoke Judge ordered, and a large number of troops rushed towards the kingdom. Block me, block, the king's support will be here soon, shouted the captain of the guard. Soon, the kingdom's support came, and a large number of people fought with the Vinsmoke family's army. However, their strength was still much worse than the Vinsmoke family's army, and they fell directly into the disadvantage. Damn, who are they? The captain of the escort said angrily. This seems to be the legendary killer family, the Vinsmoke family, the family that once ruled the entire North Blue. One person recognized the identity of the Vinsmoke family. What? Isn't this fictional? The captain of the guards dared not believe. Fictional? It's because of our strength. It's really scary. Vinsmoke Judge disdainfully, then took the lead in rushing up. Afterwards, the battle was no accident at all, and the kingdom of Kurur was captured. On this day, North Blue was caught in the flames of war. In just one day, the 5 kingdoms of North Blue were occupied by the Vinsmoke family. The Vinsmoke family who had been lurking for many years also showed their powerful strength. At this time, Akainu and Kuzan also got the news of the fall of the 5 kingdoms of North Blue. Those people in Vinsmoke are quite capable, Kuzan said while looking at the information. How long until we get to North Blue? Akainu asked. It will be there tomorrow morning, and it is estimated that at 10 o'clock in the morning, the battle will begin, said a vice admiral. Well, going at full speed, get ready for battle. It is estimated that those from the world government will be urged, Akainu said. That night, the members of the Vinsmoke family who had ended the battle also gathered together. Father, I received information that Marine has sent someone to North Blue, Reiju said. What? How could it be so fast? Yuji asked in disbelief. What are you afraid of? What if Marine is here? Who are they here? Vinsmoke Judge asked. There are 5 Vice Admiral and 10,000 elite Marine soldiers, Reiju said, but their Vinsmoke family's intelligence network did not find the existence of Akainu and Kuzan Admiral. No Admiral. Marine is really arrogant, Vinsmoke Judge said disdainfully. There is no Admiral, our intelligence officers can't find out, Reiju said. The possibility of Admiral together is very high. At most 1 Admiral. I can't stop 1 Admiral, Vinsmoke Judge said. Gather all the troops and fight Marine. As long as we win this one, then Marine will not have the strength to come next. Continue to fight with us. The world government also has nothing to do with us, Vinsmoke Judge self-confessed. Okay, father. Reiju and the others also went to assemble the armies located in the 5 kingdoms. Chapter 350th War. Early the next morning, Marine had come to North Blue. Everyone rests and prepares for the battle. The battle starts at 10. Akainu ordered, and everyone began to prepare for the battle. ______. Father, Marine has arrived at North Blue. According to their speed, they will be able to meet us at about 10 o'clock. Reiju said. I see. Is the army assembled? Vinsmoke Judge asked. It's assembled, Reiju said. Okay, then get ready for a fight, Vinsmoke Judge said, then began to sit still, waiting for Marine to arrive. Time passed quickly, and it was around 10 o'clock in the morning. The fleets of both sides were able to see each other's figures, and the battle was about to start. Akainu had seen the opposing fleet. Kuzan. Akainu shouted. Understood. Kuzan directly extended an ice line from his hand to the sea. Ice Age. With Kuzan's dispatch, the cold air broke out, the sea began to freeze, and then moved towards the Vinsmoke family at a very fast speed in just a few seconds. All the fleets of the Vinsmoke family were frozen and completely immobile, while the fleet of Marine's side was under the control of Kuzan, not frozen and free. Action. This is Marine Admiral Kuzan. Reiju was also surprised. Marine Admiral's prestige is not covered. What is Marine Admiral afraid of? Let me block it. Vinsmoke Judge said, completely indifferent. It was okay for him to block a Marine Admiral, but in his opinion, he just hadn't seen a Kainu there. All warships scattered. Free bombardment. Ordered a Kainu. Everyone fire. The captain of the warship ordered immediately. Boom, boom. In an instant, all 10 warships fired, all of which were powerful special cannonballs, and a large number of cannonballs headed towards the Vinsmoke family's fleet. Fire me up, Vinsmoke Judge ordered after seeing Marine's attack, and the cannons of the Vinsmoke family began to roar. However, because the fleet of the Vinsmoke family was frozen, it could not hit the Marine warship at all, and the Marine warship could easily attack each other, and the two sides were in an unequal situation from the beginning. Damn! Vinsmoke Judge also scolded when he saw that he was in a disadvantageous situation. Everyone got off the boat, spread out, went towards Marine, and engaged in close combat. I don't believe they can fight with our Vinsmoke family. Close combat, Vinsmoke Judge ordered. Yes, everyone heard Vinsmoke Judge's order and got off the boat, then dispersed and rushed towards Marine. Don't worry about those people, destroy their ships first, and don't let them escape. The captain of the warship ordered immediately upon seeing such a situation, and the Marine warship also continued to attack the ships of the Vinsmoke family without hesitation. Boom, boom. The ships of the Vinsmoke family were also destroyed by Marine, but now the people of the Vinsmoke family couldn't care about these things, and they rushed towards Marine quickly. The main guns continued to attack, and the secondary guns attacked the enemy's soldiers. The captain of the warship ordered again, and the warship's secondary guns opened fire immediately. The Vinsmoke family's army didn't react for a while, and suffered heavy losses, but Vinsmoke Judge and others didn't care about these losses at all. After all, their army was created, as long as time was enough, so they also completely not distressed. Seeing the Vinsmoke family's army rushing towards him quickly, Akainu couldn't help it. He also remembered what Tianyu said to reduce his casualties, so Akainu also planned to take action, and Akainu walked to the head of the warship. Ah, are you planning to do it yourself? Kuzan said, looking at Akainu's performance. Humph, I'm just trying to reduce the casualties of our marine. Akainu said, meteor volcano. Then, Akainu shouted, firing a giant fist of magma into the sky, without stopping. This is Marine Admiral Akainu. Damn, Marine actually sent 2 admirals here. Didn't the Big Mom pirates stop them? Vinsmoke Judge sees this situation and knows it badly. If the 2 admirals, they even blocking the other party, I am afraid it is also a heavy loss. When Vinsmoke Judge cursed the Big Mom pirates here, he didn't know that the Big Mom pirates didn't care about their casualties. Father, what should we do? Reiju also saw the existence of the 2 Marine admirals, and was worried in his heart, and wanted to say to retreat directly, but she still did not dare to say that. She believed that if she was going to die, she would say it directly. The adults will not let her go. Don't worry, I will resist Akainu. The 4 of you will resist Kuzan. It's enough to resist him. As for the other Marines, they are blocked by our family. I believe our army can definitely defeat them. Let them see our Vinsmoke family the power of it. Vinsmoke Judge said, and then rushed over first, heading towards Akainu. Go on, let's see the power of Marine Admiral. IG excitedly said. That's right, even Marine Admiral must die under our cooperation. Niji also believed. Let Marine Admiral tremble for our strength. Yuji was even more fearless. Seeing the 3 younger brothers rushing over, Reiju had no choice. Although she knew that she was not Marine Admiral's opponent, she had no choice. If she didn't go, she might fail faster. Reiju immediately followed. Reduce casualties. Kuzan also muttered, and then he jumped onto the ice, watching the Vinsmoke family's army rushing over. You can't just let you go just like this. I'm going to be serious too. Thorns. Ice forest. Under the control of Kuzan, a large number of ice thorns grew up in an instant, and then headed towards the Vinsmoke family's army. Vinsmoke family encountered the ice and thorns forest. Their bodies were frozen, and their body reactions also decreased rapidly. Their bodies became sluggish, and then they were completely frozen. Kuzan's trick was also imitating Tianyu's trick, but the power is also huge, and the dead soldiers of the Vinsmoke family are also cleaned up a lot in an instant. Chapter 351st Battle. Just after Kuzan cleaned up a large number of dead soldiers, when he was about to make another move, Izzy and the other four also came to Kuzan. Marine Admiral, can't let you make another move. Ichi looked at Kuzan said. Zeta up pointing arrow bug Zeta. Yes, your opponent is us. Niji also said. Iya, isn't this the 3 sons and 1 daughter of the Vinsmoke family? Kuzan looked at them and said, are you trying to stop me? It's really distressing. You have to fight such a beautiful lady. Well, can you come with me for a cup of tea? Kuzan said. As long as you get out of here, of course. Reiju laughed. It's a pity, I still have a mission. My mission is to completely annihilate you all. Kuzan said here, his body was already full of cold air. It's not certain who will destroy who. Yuji said, and then walked towards Kuzan. The others rushed up together, and they wouldn't underestimate Marine Admiral's power. At this time, Akainu's meteor volcano also descended from the sky, and a large number of magma fists headed towards the Vinsmoke family's army under the prediction of Akainu observation hockey. Boom, boom. A large number of dead soldiers died under the lava, and some people also avoided. Just when Akainu was about to shoot again, Vinsmoke Judge came to Akainu. You can't let you continue to shoot. Ah. It turns out that you are a sinner. You dare to join forces with the pirates, so are you ready to die? Akainu, covered in lava, came to Vinsmoke Judge. Sinner, it's all for the glory of my Vinsmoke family. Vinsmoke Judge said nonchalantly, as long as we can win, what about joining forces with pirates? Then, please die. Great major eruption. Akainu shot directly, punching Vinsmoke Judge. Kuzan and Akainu began to fight with each other. Yamakaji Vice Admiral also took over the management. All warships continue to shell. Keep away from the ice, continue shelling, destroy the enemy's living force. Yamakaji also ordered, can try to avoid close combat, then try to avoid it. If you can use cannon to solve it, use cannon to solve it. The warship also started immediately, left the ice far away, and then started shelling. As for Akainu and Kuzan, they were not worried at all. After all, they were Logia's devil fruit fighters, they were not afraid of shells, and they had Kuzan's existence, they also do not have to be afraid of seawater. Marine's way of playing, the Vinsmoke family is helpless. Their ships have been destroyed, so they can't catch up with the marine warships. Those who can use technology to fly temporarily are also solved by the Marine Vice Admiral and other powerhouses. The Vinsmoke family's army, it was in trouble for a while. Under the attack of Marine's artillery fire, the people of the Vinsmoke family also suffered heavy losses. Even if their technology is strong, they still have no effect in the face of Marine's characteristic cannonball attack. In this way, under the constant artillery fire, the Vinsmoke families, those with low strength, also died on the spot, and only the real elite powerhouses survived and resisted the attack of artillery fire. For these powerhouses, the attacks of these shells and guns are really useless. Yamakaji Vice Admiral looked at the scene in front of him, and also knew that those ordinary minions had been dealt with, and the remaining people could not be dealt with by artillery fire, so he also ordered again, stop the artillery fire attack. The warship moves up, everyone listens and prepares to fight. Yamakaji was also the first to draw his own sword. Are you finally going to fight in close quarters? Let's see, the power of our Vinsmoke family. The people of the Vinsmoke family looked at Marine, who was approaching, and knew that the battle was about to begin. The warship leaned against the ice, and then 10,000 elite Marine soldiers came down one after another. Then, under the leadership of 5 Vice Admiral from Yamakaji, they rushed towards the people of the Vinsmoke family, and the two sides started a real battle. Fortunately, after the artillery attack, the Vinsmoke family's army was not many, and Marine directly occupied the upper hand, especially under the leadership of the 5 Vice Admiral. At Akainu, Vinsmoke Judge still resisted Akainu's attack. Vinsmoke Judge temporarily resisted Akainu's attack with his flexible maneuvering. Electromagnetic thrust. With the help of the thruster, Vinsmoke Judge came to Akainu in an instant, and then stabbed with his right hand, under armament Haki's entanglement, stabbed towards Akainu. It's really a weak attack. Akainu did not evade, and directly let Vinsmoke Judge's attack stab him in the right chest, and the electromagnetic flashed. However, Akainu has been elementalized and did not receive any damage at all. The one who once believed in technology strength, did your Haki be so weak? Akainu looked at Vinsmoke Judge mockingly, lava surging in his chest. Vinsmoke Judge also felt bad at this time and wanted to pull out his hand, but was stuck there. Let me send you on your way. Great major eruption. Akainu punched Vinsmoke Judge without any hesitation. Oops. Vinsmoke Judge's expression also changed greatly, but at this time, he was already knocked flying by a punch, and the magma also covered him. Boom. Vinsmoke Judge flew out. The whole person also reacted quickly, and a piece of armor-like object fell from his body, blocking all the magma outside, and the whole person was unscathed. No, it should not be said that he was unscathed. Injured, he was still aching from Akainu's punch. There are really a lot of gadgets. Akainu smiled at the armor that fell from Vinsmoke Judge. However, I see how much armor you have to resist my attack. The dog eats Gurren. Akainu didn't give him time, rushed over directly, and the magma came towards Judge. Vinsmoke Judge also looked serious, didn't dare to be careless at all, smashed the giant fist. A fist appeared in his right hand, and then electric sparks erupted, punching Akainu's attack. Boom! Akainu's attack collided with Vinsmoke Judge's attack, and he didn't know what his glove was made of. Facing Akainu's magma, it was not damaged, and it also shattered Akainu's attack. However, Akainu also kicked Vinsmoke Judge. Judge was not slow to respond. With the help of the thrusters on his feet, he quickly avoided the past, and then moved away from Akainu. Chapter 352 The Beginning of Death. Facing the various technologies on Vinsmoke Judge, Akainu was also impatient for a while. Obviously his strength was much weaker than himself, but with the help of technology, he was able to fight with himself for such a long time, although he did not make a full shot. However, the role of those technological items is also commendable. Thinking of this, Akainu also has the idea of bringing these items back to increase the strength of marine soldiers. Akainu also doesn't plan to keep his hands. Infinity Miscellany _ Shaved. Stepping on Shaved, he quickly came to Vinsmoke Judge, and at the same time, Observation Haki also unfolded, predicting his movements, and Akainu punched him. Blast Kick. Vinsmoke Judge also raised his knee and kicked Akainu. With the cooperation of technology, it was also powerful. Akainu hit Judge's knee with a punch. Judge's move is also very powerful, especially when combined with the power of technology, the electromagnetic power it carries, even if Akainu is a Logia-capable person, will be affected to a certain extent. Boom! The two sides stepped back. Although Akainu did not suffer any injuries, his right hand felt paralyzed, and Vinsmoke Judge suffered a scald knee. Although he was protected, the temperature of Akainu's magma was too high. However, these injuries are also can't affect him. Electromagnetic collision. An arc appeared on Judge's armor, and then the whole person rushed towards Akainu. At the same time, he secretly held a dagger in his right hand. This is the dagger made by Seastone, and he also knows his armament. Haki wasn't able to pose a big threat to Akainu, so Judge was already prepared. Seeing Judge rushing towards him, Akainu also snorted coldly, and then, without evading, activated his ability, Volcanic Eruption. Akainu directly used his ability to imitate the appearance of a volcanic eruption, and then a large amount of magma spurted towards Judge. The huge impact also hit Judge directly. Vinsmoke Judge didn't expect Akainu to have such an attack, and he was directly repelled for a while, and the Seastone dagger was useless. After all, he didn't get close this time, so he also hid the seastone dagger again at a critical time. A fatal blow. The key now is that Judge's technological weapons have been damaged to varying degrees. After all, the destructive power of Akainu's magma is too great. It seems to be a quick solution. The whole person also rushed towards Akainu quickly. Great major eruption. Akainu smiled disdainfully when he saw Vinsmoke Judge rushing forward. He also didn't intend to keep his hands, and wanted to explode with the fastest strength. Electromagnetic assault. Vinsmoke Judge didn't hold back at all, and burst out with all his strength. You're still too weak. Great major eruption. Akainu violently pushed the magma towards Judge. Crack. In Vinsmoke Judge's unbelievable eyes, his glove was directly smashed by the magma, and Akainu rushed over without hesitation. Seeing this, Vinsmoke Judge didn't panic either. A chance. Vinsmoke Judge didn't stop either, took out the seastone dagger, then leaned towards Akainu and stabbed it in a hidden direction. Akainu didn't care either. The fist filled with magma directly hit Judge. Fortunately, Judge's body was protected by armor. At this time, Judge's dagger stabbed towards Akainu. At this time, Akainu also saw Judge's attack. He also felt that this was a weapon made by seastone, and his heart was full of vigilance. Although Vinsmoke Judge's attack was very sudden, Akainu's combat experience is still rich enough to ultimate. He has also encountered more dangerous attacks than this, so although Akainu is not surprised, the more it gets to this time, the more calm he becomes. All armament hockey was concentrated on the chest, and then the whole body erupted with magma, spraying towards Judge. Vinsmoke Judge ignored it and stabbed it hard without hesitation. He also knew that this was definitely the best opportunity, and if he missed it, it would be gone. Boom! Vinsmoke Judge's seastone dagger stabbed up. The lava didn't block the seastone dagger in the slightest, and then stabbed armament hockey's defense layer. At this time, there was a slight pause. It was this pause that Akainu's right hand turned into lava, and then he punched Judge's right hand. This was Akainu's full-strength punch. Boom! Akainu's full punch also directly broke Judge's defense, and then broke Judge's right hand. Judge's right hand was directly burned by Akainu's magma, and the seastone dagger lost its strength to continue attacking and fell. Judge was also punched in the abdomen by Akainu, and the armor on his body was even more shattered. Judge, who had broken his right hand and suffered a heavy blow to his abdomen, also fell directly to the ground. Before he could stand up, Akainu came to Judge and looked down at him with no emotion in his eyes, as if he was looked like a dead man. Judge also stood up with difficulty. There were too many injuries on his body, which also meant that he had no possibility of winning, or that he had no possibility of winning in the first place. How huge the gap is. You lost. Akainu looked at Judge grimly. Yes, I lost. Judge didn't refute anything. Don't worry, you won't be alone after you die, your children will accompany you one by one. Akainu said coldly. Hearing Akainu's words, Judge's pupils also shrank. To be honest, he would die if he died, but he didn't want his children to die with him. At this time, he also regretted doing something great. He wanted to save the lives of his children. At this time he thought of home, but it was too late, but he did not ask Akainu to let them go, because he knew it was impossible. Akainu was impossible to let go. Past them. Leave your last words. Akainu's right hand was surging with magma and had already been raised. My last words are, Judge laughed, you run away, and live well. Judge suddenly shouted, and then the whole person also exploded in front of Akainu. Chapter 353 continues. Boom! A huge explosion sounded, and Akainu didn't expect Vinsmoke Judge to explode in front of him, nor did he expect Vinsmoke Judge to be a lunatic who put such a large amount of explosives in his body. Circle.operator@g@worm circle.operator. Akainu, who didn't have time to react, just subconsciously turned his body into elements, and then the explosion of Vinsmoke Judge engulfed him. Akainu's groaning came from the magma. Akainu didn't think that Vinsmoke Judge's body also put sea stone fragments, so Akainu is also injured. After the explosion, Akainu also reappeared, but there were 2 more wounds on his body, which were injured by sea stone, but they were all small wounds, and Akainu was not injured at all. On the other side, when the battle between Akainu and Vinsmoke Judge just started, the battle of Kuzan, Ig, Niji, Yuji, and Reiju to besiege Kuzan also began. Ice block pheasant beak. Kuzan shot directly, and an ice bird rushed towards the 4 people. Laser cannon. Ig raised his right hand directly, and a laser hit Kuzan's attack. Boom! The ice bird collided with the laser, and there was a huge explosion. After the ice bird smashed the laser, it continued to move towards Ig, but the power was greatly reduced. The attack shattered. At this time, the other 3 also moved, and rushed towards Kuzan, electromagnetic crush. The 3 attacked at the same time, and the electromagnetic attacks hit Kuzan one after another. Crack, kick, Kuzan turned into ice block and shattered. Did the attack work? Niji said. No, he is a Logia Devil Fruit power user. We didn't carry Haki in our attack just now. He couldn't have died so easily. Reiju said calmly. Oops, really smart lady. If that's the case, I don't want to fight you anymore. Kuzan appeared from ice block. If you don't want to fight, then get out of here. Reiju said. This can't be done. This mission is an order from the world government. If I don't complete it, I'll be in a lot of trouble. Kuzan scratched his head and said, then it's time to get real. Kuzan became serious. Laser. Ig rushed over and attacked Kuzan again. The laser directly penetrated Kuzan's body, revealing a big hole, but Kuzan didn't respond at all. I am the Logia Devil Fruit power. You guys who don't carry Haki's attacks are useless to me at all. Freeze. Shock wave. Kuzan waved at Ig casually, and a freezing shock wave hit Ig, freezing his whole body. Ig. Reiju shouted, running to Ig to unfreeze him. Blast kick. Electromagnetic assault. Niji and Yuji came towards Kuzan with armament Haki's attack. Kuzan also gave up taking the opportunity to completely solve Ig's idea, and turned to guard against the attack of these 2 people, because Kuzan felt Haki in their attack the existence of, even if the power is not strong, but if it is hit, even Kuzan will not feel good. Ice wall. Kuzan waved his hand, and a huge ice wall stood in front of him, blocking Niji and Yuji's attacks. The ice wall directly blocked the attack of the 2 people, double-thorned spears. Kuzan didn't stop, and 4 ice spears stabbed towards Niji and Yuji. Niji and Yuji did not resist, they directly activated the thrusters on their feet, and then avoided the past. After all this time, Ig was also rescued, and the 4 came to Kuzan again, opposing Kuzan. Oh, it's really troublesome. It's solved early, go back early. Kuzan said, and at the same time, the whole person disappeared in place in an instant. The moment Kuzan disappeared, the 4 of them felt bad, and Reiju's face suddenly changed, hurry up. The whole person also left the place in an instant, and Ig and the others also reacted quickly and left the place. At this time, Kuzan appeared in the middle of them, ice time. Kuzan released a lot of air conditioning in an instant, and the 4 of Reiju were also attacked by the air conditioning, and their bodies became slow to respond. Kuzan came to Yuji in an instant, electromagnetic assault. When Yuji saw this, he also knew that the situation was not good, and in an instant, he used all his strength and the violent electromagnet erupted. With armament Haki's entanglement, it charged towards Kuzan. And go. Ice time. Kuzan ignored Yuji's attack, and came to Yuji with his whole body, reaching out and grabbing at Yuji. Yangji's attack also hit Kuzan directly, and Kuzan turned the whole person into an element. At this time, Kuzan also caught Yangji, caught you. When Yangji felt bad, Kuzan directly it completely freezes Yangji. This freezing is not an ordinary freeze. All the organs in Yangji's body are also frozen. Kuzan also knows that these people in the Vinsmoke family have modified their bodies, so in order to just in case, I'll still crush you. Goodbye. Kacha. The ice block formed by Yuji's whole body was crushed. In this short period of time, Yuji was solved by Kuzan, and the expressions of Reiju, Ig and Niji also changed greatly. They never thought that things would change like this in just a few seconds. Quick. At the same time, several people also felt a sense of sadness. I don't know if they were sad because of Yuji's death or because of what happened next. However, they didn't run away. After all, under the current situation, it is impossible for them to escape. Got it, so they looked at Kuzan more vigilantly. Kuzan stood up. He was also hit by Yuji's full force just now. Although Yuji wrapped armament haki, he was already elementalized. Although his body was not injured, there was still some pain, but only a little pain. Yuji's armament strength far from enough to break his defenses. Kuzan came to Ig and the three of them, ice haki. Kuzan stretched out his hands, 10 fingers stretched out 10 ice jinchuriki, column towards the three of them, and then formed a hockey puck to hit the crowd. Furious assault. Electromagnetic shine. Electromagnetic shock. Reiju smashed Kuzan's attack directly, and then the three of them took out their sea-stone weapons without hesitation, and with the help of the thruster, rushed towards Kuzan quickly. Kuzan's eyes flashed, and he saw the weapons they took out. Is it a sea-stone weapon? It's really dangerous. Kuzan was also ready to go. Chapter 354 Escape. Seeing the three men rushing towards him with sea-stone weapons in their hands, Kuzan also became serious. If he was careless, it would be ugly to lose. Ice saber. Kuzan formed a saber in his hand, and then slashed at the three. Underscore. Ping. Kuzan blocked Ig's attack. At this time, Niji and Reiju also approached Kuzan and stabbed Kuzan with the sea-stone weapon in their hands. Ice crystal armor. Kuzan instantly formed a set of ice block armor on his body as a defense, and the sea-stone weapon also hit Kuzan directly. Kuzan directly forced back Ig's attack, ice thorns. Kuzan formed a large number of ice thorns on the spot, forcing the three back, and then stepped on the shaving and left the place, appearing in the area of the three from a distance. This situation is not suitable for melee attacks. After all, their sea-stone weapons are too terrifying for those who are capable. Frozen shock wave. Kuzan launched a long-range attack directly, and a huge shock wave came towards the three of them. Laser cannon. Ig's laser attack hit the shock wave, and a huge roar sounded. Electromagnetic shock. Electromagnetic assault. Niji and Reiju also launched their own attacks, carrying electromagnetic attacks towards Kuzan. Ice block exploding pheasant mouth. Kuzan directly used his ability to form an ice bird, then flew towards the three, directly smashing the electromagnetic attacks of the two, and then continued towards them. The three of them also directly used the thrusters on their feet to avoid the past. Just as they were dodging, Kuzan's attack arrived again, ice thorns. A large number of ice thorns came out of Kuzan's hands and went towards the three of them. Electromagnetic shield. The three of them activated the defensive wall at the same time, and a power grid stood in front of them, resisting Kuzan's attack. You're showing your flaws. Kuzan had come to Niji at this time. Oops, leave now, Niji. Ig and Reiju shouted. Niji trembled when he saw Kuzan, who suddenly appeared in front of him, but he also knew that if he avoided now, he would probably die on the spot, so he attacked without hesitation. After all, attacking is the best defense. Electromagnetic sparkle. Niji directly exploded with the highest power electromagnetic, and a dazzling electric light shone between the two of them. The dazzling light also made Kuzan close his eyes. It's really shining, Kuzan said, and at the same time his whole body shuddered, because he felt a strong danger, and at this time, Niji had used all his strength to stab himself towards Kuzan. His sea-stone weapon, even wrapped around his entire armament haki. Feeling the danger of Kuzan, the whole person also broke out without hesitation, Ice Age. Kuzan directly launched his most powerful move. The temperature of the whole person dropped to absolute zero in an instant, and the severe cold was also instantaneous. It froze everything around him, including Niji. That's right, even though Niji had used his full strength, under Kuzan's full-strength burst, the whole person was directly frozen in place, and his direct attack had no effect. When Kuzan broke out with all his strength, Ig and Reiju couldn't stand the powerful air conditioning and kept retreating. They were also worried about Niji's situation. Under such terrifying air conditioning, Niji's life was very small and pitiful, but they still have hope. However, after the cold air broke out, this scene appeared in front of them. Niji still made an attack and was frozen there. Kuzan stood unharmed in front of Niji's ice sculpture. Hold on to an ice saber and swing it down without hesitation. No, Reiju yelled, trying to stop Kuzan. However, Kuzan didn't hesitate in the slightest. He swung the knife down, and Niji's ice sculpture shattered directly to the ground. The whole person was also torn apart and turned into an ice block. There was no blood flowing out, and even the blood was frozen. For Ig and Reiju, this situation is simply hopeless. After all, the four of them were easily solved by Kuzan. Now there are only two of them, so there is no possibility of winning at all, so the atmosphere became desperate for a while. Run, Reiju said. What? Ig looked at Reiju, not understanding. Let's run away. Now we have no chance of winning, do we? Father Sama is not Akainu's opponent, so we can't win at all. Niji and Yuji are already dead, are you planning to die here too? Reiju said, and at this time Kuzan also came over slowly. However, how do we escape? Although Ig was a little moved, he still asked, because he found that he had nowhere to escape at all. If he escaped, he would be easily caught up. Escape from the sea, he is a devil fruit person, we are not, as long as we escape from the sea, we have a great possibility of escaping, it is better than directly dying here, and let the dead men stop it. Reiju said. At this moment, Vinsmoke Judge also shouted, hurry up and get out of here. Then the whole person exploded. Hearing Vinsmoke Judge's words, Ig and Reiju also became full, and then they both made up their minds at the same time. Ig and Reiju also took out a controller and pressed something. Kuzan also saw the movements of the two of them, and the whole person rushed over quickly, but at this time, all the dead men of the Vinsmoke family who were still alive instantly abandoned their opponents, and then turned towards Kuzan. Rushed over. Kuzan also stopped and watched the hundreds of dead men rushing towards him, and also watched this scene. At this time, Ig and Reiju also attacked directly at the ice surface, wanting to hit a direct hit through the sea. Big hole, take the opportunity to escape. When Kuzan saw that the two were going to stop them, the dead men who were still alive also came to Kuzan, and then started a suicide attack. They rushed towards Kuzan like moths to a flame, just to give Ig and Reiju a chance to escape. Kuzan was also blocked by them for a while. Although their strength was not as good as Kuzan, so many people united to stop Kuzan. Great Major Eruption. At this time, Akainu, who had already solved Vinsmoke Judge, also came to Kuzan. One great major eruption solved dozens of dead men, and then Akainu did not stop at all, heading towards Reiju and Ig. The direction of the individuals rushed, Akainu was impossible to let them escape. Chapter 355 Escape. Just as Akainu rushed over, half of the dead men came to Akainu and blocked him. Zeta up pointing arrow bug Zeta. Boom. At this time, Reiju and Ig also penetrated the thick layer of ice, and the two of them also saw hope of escape. At this time, Akainu also saw their situation, Kuzan. Akainu shouted. Hearing Akainu shouting, Kuzan also knew his plan, without the slightest hesitation, Ice Age. Kuzan broke out again, and the chill that swept everything swept the entire battlefield. Reiju and Ig also felt the danger of life and death, and they jumped into the ice hole without hesitation. Although they might die if they jumped down, if they stayed here, they would definitely die, so neither of them did either. The slightest hesitation. As soon as the two jumped down, the cold air swept through, and Akainu came here immediately, and without hesitation, magma appeared on his body, Great Major Eruption. Akainu pushed the magma into the sea with all his strength. The two people who had just jumped into the sea also immediately dived into the sea at the fastest speed in their lives. At this time, the two of them also felt the temperature of the seawater rise, so the two of them did their best. Akainu's attack lasted about 5 minutes before it stopped. At this time, the temperature of the sea had risen to ultimate, and a large number of fish had been cooked and floated on the sea. At this time, Kuzan also killed all the dead, and then came to Akainu. If the temperature is so high, if they haven't escaped, then they are definitely dead, otherwise they are lucky. Kuzan-zan said after looking at the cooked fish. Let's go. The mission here is complete. If they don't die, they will be found sooner or later. Akainu said, then turned and left here. Kuzan also left here. At this time, Yamakaji Vice Admiral also cleaned the battlefield and came to Akainu and Kuzan. How about the casualties? Akainu asked. More than 800 people died and more than 300 were seriously injured, but they were all rescued. Yamakaji Vice Admiral said. Yeah, treat them with all my strength, then clean up the battlefield and go back to Marine headquarters. Akainu said, and then return to the warship. After the battle, Akainu also sent people to bring the remaining research materials and researchers of the Vinsmoke family back to the warship, and after confirming that nothing was left, a magma fist destroyed the place and left here. After returning to the warship, Akainu also reported what happened here to Tianyu. The battle is over, and the Vinsmoke family is completely destroyed. Among them, Vinsmoke Reiju and Vinsmoke IG are both alive and dead. All the information was brought back by me. Okay, good work. Come back as soon as possible, Tianyu said after hearing Akainu's report, and hung up the phone. Tianyu also called the world government Gorosei, 5 elders. Hey, I'm Gorosei, 5 elders, what's the matter? Gorosei, 5 elders, voice came from the opposite side. I am Kanglong. The Vinsmoke family has been wiped out. Only 2 of them are still alive and dead. They have also destroyed 5 countries. What should I do now? Those 5 countries? Tianyu asked. Life or death unknown. If found, put a bounty on it. As for the 5 countries, the world government will send people. Gorosei, 5 elders said. Okay, that's it then. Tianyu also hung up the phone. A deserted island in a certain sea area in North Blue, Vinsmoke Reiju also fell on the beach. After a long time, he finally woke up. Cough. 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 Where is this? Reiju finally woke up, finally escaped. Reiju whispered. Reiju immediately stood up and looked around, and also found that this is an island, and no one has been found for the time being. Her body was also scalded by the high temperature, but Reiju didn't care at all. After all, because of her special constitution is going to get better soon. I don't know what happened to IG. Reiju also suddenly remembered something, took out a preserved vivre card. Yes, this is IG vivre card. I saw that although this vivre card was extremely small, it was still moving, showing that IG was still alive. Are you still alive? Great. Reiju couldn't help laughing too. It's good to be alive. At this time, the demise of the Vinsmoke family was also known by the Big Mom pirates. I knew that the people of Vinsmoke had no chance, even though they had occupied 5 countries, but they did not have top combat power. It was easily solved by Marine. Said the ant. Fortunately we didn't invest anything, otherwise, our losses would be huge, and now we have got a lot of information without paying anything, which is enough. Charlotte Pudding said. At the same time, the demise of the Vinsmoke family was also known by other people, but they didn't care. After all, the Vinsmoke family had nothing to do with them, but they also knew the connection between the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom pirates based on their intelligence. He didn't care, he just smiled and treated it as a joke. In the New World, where the Straw Hat Pirates are located, Luffy and the others also got the news of the demise of the Vinsmoke family. They also looked at Sanji worriedly. After all, they knew that Sanji was a member of the Vinsmoke family. Although their relationship was not very good, after all is family. Sanji was also silent for a long time, smoked a cigarette in silence, then raised his head and looked at Luffy and the others. Don't worry. I can bear it. After all, our relationship is really not very good. and I a good relationship as just a sister. Sanji said, then walked into the boat warehouse and started cooking. Time passed quickly, and the news of the demise of the Vinsmoke family also calmed down. On the deserted island of North Blue, Reiju finally recovered from his injuries, and then started to leave the island, following the direction of Vivre Card towards IG. Go. At this time, Ig also recovered from the injury, and he survived smoothly, but his left hand was also severely scalded, and there were obvious wounds, but fortunately, it did not affect anything. He also used Vivre when he recovered. Card went to find Reiju. After all, the only people left in the Vinsmoke family were Sanji, Reiju. The two also walked towards each other at the same time, and I believe that the two of them will soon be able to meet. Chapter 356 Join. When Vinsmoke Reiju and Vinsmoke Judge went to sea, their traces were also discovered by the spies of the world government. After all, the spies of the world government were pervasive, and they existed everywhere. And miscellaneous n-airy product kai n-airy product bugan. However, the world government did not intend to pay attention to them. After all, after the Vinsmoke family was completely destroyed, the two of them were also insignificant figures, so the world government did not take action against them, but only offered a reward to them. Vinsmoke IG, a reward of 200 million berry. Vinsmoke Reiju, with a reward of 180 million berries. The bounty of the two people was also passed on to the world. In the Straw Hat Pirates, Sanji also saw the bounty offered by two people. After knowing that Reiju's sister had nothing to do, Sanji finally calmed down and smiled again. North Blue, an unnamed island. After the voyage, Reiju and IG also finally met. Are you okay? IG. Reiju worried. Don't worry. Except for a little burn on his left hand, nothing happened. IG became happy when he saw that Reiju was fine. After all, after the battle of life and death a few days ago, especially when the Vinsmoke family was destroyed under the circumstances, IG also became more attached to family affection, especially when there were only 3 people left in the Vinsmoke family. It's fine. It's fine. Reiju finally felt relieved, then remained silent for a while, and then asked, what are you going to do now? IG was silent for a while, and then said, I plan to give up the ideal of the Vinsmoke family, and North Blue is not only for the two of us to occupy, so I give up. IG was seeing after reaching Admiral's power, he also gave up. It's okay to give up, and start living for yourself in the future. It's no longer for the family. After Reiju heard IG say this, he also let go of his worries. What are you going to do? Where are you going? Ichi asked, and now he was still very concerned about this sister. Me. Reiju was also a little overwhelmed. She didn't think about this question. She thought for a while, I want to go to Sanji's place to see. His captain is a good person. Reiju suddenly thought of Luffy. Sanji. IG also said strangely. Although he no longer felt hostile and despised for Sanji after such a thing, he also didn't have a good impression of him. That's right, we're the only 3 left in the Vinsmoke family after all, so you don't have to treat Sanji the same way. Reiju looked at IG. Humph. Even so, I won't go to him. Ichi said proudly. Then where are you going? Reiju asked. Me. IG also thought about it. I'd better go out to sea. Maybe even a pirate. Really? Well, then I wish you a smooth journey. Live well, Reiju said. Of course, I'm Vinsmoke IG. IG said proudly, you're going to find Sanji and the others, how are you going? IG asked. Don't worry, I have Sanji's Vivre card. I can find him. Reiju took out the Vivre card after saying that, then tore off half of it and handed it to IG. But I accepted it in order to avoid finding you. Yuji accepted the Vivre card embarrassedly. I know. Reiju also laughed. Then, let's just leave it. After Reiju finished speaking, he got on a boat and headed for the new world. Good luck, IG whispered, and then he also left here and started his own journey. In the new world, after a long voyage, following the direction of Vivre card, Reiju finally arrived not far from the Straw Hat Pirates. Reiju, who was on a small boat, also saw Luffy and the others. On the wanly sunshine, Sokka, who was sitting on the observation deck, also saw a small boat approaching in the distance. "Hey, a small boat is approaching us." Hearing Sokka's words, Luffy and the others also came to the deck, and Usopp also took out a telescope to observe the incoming person, and immediately found Reiju. "It's your sister, Sanji," Usopp said. "Really?" Sanji didn't show anything, but his trembling right hand showed his excitement. "So it's her." Luffy also thought of the woman who helped him detoxify. At this time, Reiju also came here, and then activated the floating device on his body, and came to Luffy's boat. It's amazing. It can fly. Luffy, Usopp, and Chopper looked at Reiju with bright eyes. "Long time no see, everyone," Reiju greeted. "Why did you come here?" Sanji asked. "You should already know the news. I had nowhere to go, so I thought of you guys." "How?" "I'm homeless, can you let me join?" "Captain Luffy." Reiju looked at Luffy and smiled. "Of course." Luffy agreed without a second thought. "You agreed so easily," Nami spat. "By the way, this is a gift from me." Reiju threw a small bag of things to Nami. "What?" Nami took it, and opened it. Her eyes suddenly lit up. All of them were gems. "Ah. Welcome to the Straw Hat Pirates." Nami agreed instantly. "Is it food?" Luffy came to Nami's side and looked at it. "What? You can't eat it." Reiju joined the Straw Hat Pirates. On this day, Luffy and the others also sailed to a country, which is known as the country of gourmet food. The most famous place here is all kinds of food, and there are all kinds of food and desserts. "Is this the famous food country in Shinsegae?" Sanji asked excitedly. "Of course, there is a food competition held every 5 years. It can be said that the winner is definitely a famous chef in the New World. The most famous here is the black truffle called Diamond Heart, as long as the winner can get a kilo of this stuff," Reiju explained. "Is this thing rare?" Nami asked. "The output of this black truffle called Diamond Heart is about 100 kilograms a year. However, these things are absolutely untouchable, because these are all owned by the Big Mom Pirates, one of the 3 emperors. The pre-ordered things, because the desserts made from this thing can be said to be the most delicious things, so all these things were given to Big Mom, and no one could get them, so this kilo of black truffles is even more precious." "Get up," Reiju explained. "Then how did they get this kilo of black truffles?" Sanji asked. "Every year, some defective products are left in the production of this thing, and then after 5 years of collection and purification, this kilogram is obtained," Reiju said. Chapter 357 Food Kingdom. "Wow, Reiju, you know a lot," Nami said in surprise. "I was originally in charge of intelligence work, so I know these things very well." Reiju laughed. "Is that stuff delicious?" Luffy asked. Eating was the most important thing to him. "It's delicious, and I've only eaten it once. It can be said that desserts made of this kind of food taste like happiness." Reiju was also indulged in that memory. "I want to eat too." Luffy's saliva was already running down the floor. "Then it's up to Sanji to win the game. How's it going?" "Sanji, right?" Nami looked at Sanji. "Ah, if Nami-san says that, I will definitely win." Sanji suddenly became motivated. Next, Luffy and the others also came to the country of food, and then found a hotel to stay in. Sanji also began to prepare the conditions and ingredients for the competition. Luffy and the others are also wandering around the country. Luffy is also eating and drinking in one place. Of course he is alone. "Ah. The food here is delicious," Luffy shouted after he was full. "Do you think so too? There are only a handful of things here even in this country. Although the things here are not as dazzling as those outside, this store has been passed down for hundreds of years." Luffy beside said a middle-aged man. "Uncle, who are you?" Luffy asked curiously. "Ha ha ha, I forgot to introduce, I am the owner of this store, my name is Raphael." Raphael introduced himself. "So that's how it is. My name is Monkey D. Luffy." Luffy also introduced himself. "I know you, you are a famous pirate. Raphael apparently knew Luffy too. Really? By the way, Uncle, have you ever eaten that dessert called black dew? Luffy asked curiously. Black truffles. Raphael also recalled, his expression full of happy memories. I've eaten it once. I've been over 50 this year, and I've only eaten it once, and it's really delicious. The taste of happiness. Quote. Is it really that delicious? Luffy was full of desire when he saw this. People who haven't eaten it don't know how delicious it is. It can be said that if you can eat it once in your life, then it's enough. Raphael said. Ah, I want to eat it too. Luffy longed. Ha ha ha, then let your partner go to the food competition. As long as you win, you can eat it. Raphael said. Okay, go find Sanji now. Luffy also stood up, intending to find Sanji. Wait, you haven't paid yet, Raphael said. I don't have any money. Luffy's face was innocent. When I become One Piece King of Pirates, I'll pay you back then. Luffy laughed. You, forget it, forget it. I'll treat you as a treat this time. Raphael shook his head helplessly. Uncle, you are really a good person. Luffy said happily, then left here to find Nami and the others. A good person. Raphael also left here helplessly. Time soon came to the opening of the food competition. Today, all the food here is free to eat, so Luffy also came to heaven at once, eating everywhere. Ah, this thing is delicious. Ah, this thing is even more delicious. Ah, delicious. It's delicious. Luffy wandered around, and finally stopped. Ah, so full, can't eat any more. Luffy puffed out his belly and sat down. At this time, the competition started. All the contestants, please start preparing for 1 hour. Make the food you are most satisfied with, and then wait for the inspection of all the people. The host shouted, and then all the contestants also started in order to make it. It also takes a certain amount of skill to make delicious and enough food in an hour. At the beginning of the game, a large number of people started to move, and for a while, the fragrance was overflowing here. Ah. It's so fragrant. It's a pity that I can't eat it anymore. Luffy lay there helplessly. Who made you eat so much? Nami shouted. No way, it's really delicious. Luffy said helplessly. Soon, an hour has passed, all the people have finished the production, and then started to taste. All residents or tourists can come here to eat, and then vote for the food they think is delicious. The top 5 votes go to the final match. Soon, 1 day passed, and the list of the top 5 votes came out. Among them, Sanji was also shortlisted and ranked 4th. This result cannot be said to be good, but at least he was shortlisted. The final competition is 3 days later. Start. After the preliminary round, Sanji and Luffy also return to the hotel. How is it? Sanji, are you sure of winning? Nami asked. Luffy and the others also looked at Sanji. Although I don't want to admit it, the possibility of winning is very small. I have also eaten food made by other people. To be honest, it is much better than me, so my chance of winning is still very small. Although Sanji was a little unwilling, but he still admitted his shortcomings. There's no other way, isn't Sanji, the best cook here, not very likely to win? Nami said disappointedly. Ah, don't I have the dessert I want? Luffy was disappointed, too. By the way, I'll go find the winner, and let him give me some dessert made by the Black Dew. Luffy immediately praised his wit. It's Heichao truffles, besides, why would they give you to eat them? Nami said helplessly, although she also wanted to try it. Time passed quickly, and the game officially came 3 days later. Although he didn't want to admit it, Sanji still lost a hand. Although Sanji had performed exceptionally, he still won the 3rd place, and he was convinced. I announce that the winner of this competition is Mr. Raphael. Everyone applauds. The host shouted excitedly. It turned out to be this uncle. Luffy said, looking at Raphael. What, Luffy, when did you meet him? Nami asked curiously. 2 days ago, I went to the restaurant he opened for dinner, and he hasn't asked for my money yet. What a nice guy. Luffy exclaimed. He's afraid of your identity being offered a reward of 500 million berry. After hearing Luffy's words, the others thought silently in their hearts. By the way, maybe that uncle can let me taste the dessert made by that black dew. Luffy suddenly thought. It's black truffles, Nami corrected. Let's go. Luffy immediately walked towards Raphael's store, and Nami and the others followed, wanting to see if there was such a possibility, and their group also came to Raphael's store. Chapter 358 Bad News. After waiting for a long time, Raphael came back with a package, and then saw Luffy and the others standing in front of their shop, as if waiting for him. Psi Omega Omega Bug Psi. What's the matter? In front of my shop? Raphael asked, then saw Luffy too. It's you, brother. Uncle, can you let us taste the dessert made by Hylu? Luffy said directly, and there was some desire in his tone. Of course. Raphael saw Luffy's appearance, and knew that Luffy was not malicious, so he readily agreed. After all, as a chef, the food he made was also for people to eat. Come in. Raphael opened the door of his shop and invited them in. Dark chocolate truffles need to be placed for 3 days to make them into desserts, so you still need to wait 3 days. Raphael explained. It's okay, we can wait. Luffy said. At this time, the king of this country sent someone. Mr. Raphael, it's not good, something happened. A guard came to Raphael and said anxiously. What happened? Raphael asked curiously. Forbidden Land, the things in the Forbidden Land have been destroyed. The guard said in a terrified tone. What? Raphael stood up instantly and came to the guard. What are you saying is true? Is there nothing in the forbidden area? Raphael was very anxious. That's right, it was destroyed. The guard was very anxious. Hurry up and take me there. Raphael also said anxiously. He didn't have time to pay attention to Luffy and the others, so he left here in a hurry and headed for the so-called forbidden area. What the hell happened to that so-called forbidden area? Luffy asked curiously. Something must have happened, otherwise, he wouldn't show that expression. I saw him look terrified, as if he saw something terrifying. Nami said. Can't we find out if we go and have a look? Sanji said. Yes, Uncle is such a good person. If there is anything we can help, we can also help them. Luffy thought so too, and then followed. Nami and the others followed. Only Reiju seemed to have thought of something, with a thoughtful expression also followed all the way. When Luffy and the others followed Raphael to the forbidden area of the Food Kingdom, they found that a large number of people came here, but many of them had expressions of extreme fear, and some even had a desire to die. When Luffy and the others approached, they realized that this place looked like a garden, but now there are no flowers here, just some withered plants and a lot of smelly green liquid, and the plants are also dying because of these liquids. Before Luffy and the others asked anything, Raphael came to the king. Your Majesty, have you found out who did it? Raphael asked. It's Raphael. The king finally came back to his senses. No, when the guards discovered it, it was already like this. They didn't find anything, but found these highly corrosive liquids. Found no one, said the king. It seems that the strength of the enemy should be very strong, able to avoid the discovery of all the guards, and do all this quietly. Raphael said. These things are not important now. The key question is that in 2 days, it will be time to pay tribute to the Big Mom pirates. Now that these plants are all dead, what else can we give to Big Mom? If there is nothing, our country will be finished. The king was also sad. Yeah, who is it? If you let me know who did it, I have to kill him. Raphael also showed a sturdy aura. Obviously his strength is not low. Uncle, what the hell happened here? Luffy finally couldn't help asking. Raphael looked at Luffy, and he was full of goodwill towards this open-minded person who didn't have the same killing aura of other pirates, even a pirate, let me tell you. Luffy, this is where the black truffle grows. Heichao truffle is a strange plant. It can only grow here, and the annual output is not high. Originally, these things were made into desserts and presented to the Big Mom pirates, but now I don't know who was used by them. If the plants here are destroyed, it means that there are no more black truffles this year, and looking at the corrosiveness of these liquids, no one knows when they will be able to grow again. Raphael explained. Wouldn't that be fine with a different dessert? Luffy wondered. However, other people, including Raphael, also looked ugly. When Luffy was puzzled, Reiju said, "It's useless, Big Mom is a violent coon for desserts. If your desserts can't satisfy her, then this place is absolutely her revenge will be ushered in. There is only one end here, that is to destroy the country." What? Nami and the others were all surprised by the news. It was too exaggerated to destroy the country for dessert. They couldn't believe that there was such a ridiculous thing. This lady is right, it's all true, and it's not the first time this kind of thing has happened. Big Mom has destroyed more than one country because of dessert. Raphael also said solemnly. So is there no solution now? Nami asked. There's no other way, the Big Mom pirates will be here in the next 2 days, and we don't have time. Even if we have time, we can't do anything about it. Without Hei Chow truffles, we can't make anything that Big Mom is satisfied with. Dessert, said the king, too. I don't know who did it, and what kind of hatred does it have with our country. Treat us like this. Raphael was also full of hatred. I can't find anything now. So let's think about what to do now, said the king. Your Majesty, how many black truffles are there in our country? Raphael said. In addition to those defective products, it has only been 15 kilograms for many years, of which 10 kilograms are still defective and must be purified before they can be used, said the king. In other words, is it only 7 kilograms? In this case, compared with 100 kilograms, the gap is really too big. Raphael also looked ugly. So, I really have no choice, said the king. I have already planned to tell the people, let them escape quickly. They can't stay here any longer, let them escape quickly. They can escape some run away. Is this the only way? Raphael also looked ugly, but he also knew that this was the best way, as long as he could leave alive. Chapter 359 Big Mom's Anger. Hearing Raphael and the king's words, Luffy and the others also looked solemn. They didn't know what to do for a while. The king also left here to deal with the next thing. He was going to inform all the citizens. Filled circle, insect-filled circle. Luffy and the others also left here, and they also don't know what they should do now, whether to leave or what to do. Luffy and the others came to Raphael's shop and are also waiting for the next development. The king's actions were quick, and he immediately started a nationwide announcement. My citizens, tell you the bad news. Our pride, the black truffle, was destroyed by the gangsters, which also means that we have no tribute. Dessert for the Big Mom pirates, so please leave here quickly, leave our hometown. As long as you live, we will do our best to send you out of here. How is this possible? Is our hometown going to be destroyed? Get out of here quickly. After hearing the king's words, all the people went crazy and went back to their homes one after another, and then they prepared things and planned to leave here as quickly as possible, to leave this place of right and wrong. Luffy and the others looked at this chaotic country. It was because of this news that the original country of food lost its calm and started chaos. This also made Luffy and the others feel the cruelty of the world. Luffy also bit Kiba. At this time, Raphael with a tired face also returned here and saw Luffy and the others. You are still here. Raphael sat down with a tired face. Uncle, is there really no way? Luffy came to Raphael and asked. Is there a way? What can be done? This is the Three Emperors. One of the most powerful forces in the world. What can we do? Raphael said sadly. He also grew up here, right? It was full of emotions, and he didn't want the country to collapse like this. Luffy and the others also had no choice. They left here and returned to the hotel. Reiju, do we really have nothing to do? Luffy asked. Is there a way? No, this is the suppression of strength and power, unless you can be stronger than the Big Mom pirates. Reiju also had no choice, and everyone was relatively speechless. Big Mom pirates, Baron Egg, it's up to you to go to the Food Kingdom to bring back this year's desserts. The ant ordered. Okay, Mom. Baron Egg set off immediately. He knew that Auntie's craving for dessert, so he didn't stop at all, and went at full speed. Under the efforts of Baron Egg, he came to the Food Kingdom on the third day. When he came here, he also found that the Kingdom of Food was in chaos, and a large number of people began to flee. He couldn't figure it out, but he had a bad premonition. Although the Food Kingdom has already started to transport people out of here, but after all, there are too many people, and there are too few ships in this country, so only about 10% of the people were transported for a while, and the rest have no way to do it. Leave. Baron Dandan ignored these people and went directly to the location of the kingdom. Someone at the kingdom's wharf had seen the logo of the Big Mom pirates for a long time, so the king had been waiting here for a long time. Welcome, Your Excellency. Well, is the dessert that Mom needs ready? Baron Egg asked directly. The king was a little unspeakable. Huh, Baron Eggy's face instantly turned ugly. What do you mean? Are you not ready? Baron Eggy was instantly angry. He knew that if his mother couldn't eat dessert, it would be fatal. Our country's production area has been destroyed, so we have no choice. I hope you can forgive me, and we will make up for it next time. The king pleaded. Tell Mom about these things. Baron Egg left here, returned to the boat, and called Auntie. It's Baron Egg, what's the matter? Is it about dessert? The tone became heavy in an instant. Mom, those desserts in their country have been destroyed, and even the production area has been destroyed, so they can't provide desserts on time. Baron Eggy said cautiously. Auntie was silent, but Baron Dandan became even more frightened. He knew that Auntie was about to explode. Death to me, since there is no way to provide dessert on time, what use are they? I want dessert. I want dessert. I want to destroy them, destroy their country. Big Mom roared. Cracker, Parosparrow, you two take people and destroy that country. I want them all dead. I want to sink that country. Big Mom was furious. Yes, Mom. The two left in an instant. If they stayed, it would be bad. After the two left, there was a loud noise from the ant, and the two were very happy. The two of them also immediately gathered their troops, and then aggressively attacked the Food Kingdom. They knew that the country must be destroyed, otherwise, they would have to bear the anger of their mother. The Baron Dandan of the Food Kingdom also stayed, waiting for the arrival of the pirates. He knew that the country was about to be destroyed. In Raphael's shop, at this time, Raphael is making desserts. Yes, he is making desserts. At this time, Raphael has no plans to leave this country. He plans to make his own perfect dessert, make use of the few dark chocolate truffles that are left over. Raphael quickly fell into the world of desserts wholeheartedly, and did not let other news interfere with him. He made desserts wholeheartedly. Even if Luffy and the others came, he did not find it, and was indulged in his own world. Luffy wanted to say hello, but was stopped by Sanji and did not disturb Raphael. Sanji also watched Raphael's making process with his eyes fixed. It was not until Raphael finished the dessert that Raphael woke up. Looking back to find that Luffy and the others have also come here, let you wait for a long time. Come on, my dessert is ready. It can be said that this is the pinnacle of my life. Come and try it. Yuhei Chow truffles are made into desserts. Raphael put the desserts he made in front of Luffy and the others, inviting. Luffy and the others also swallowed what they originally planned to say, and turned their attention to the dessert in front of them. Looking at the dessert made from the legendary black truffle, they were also full of desire. Uncle, we can really do this. Eat. If you give it to Big Mom, maybe she will let you go this time. Luffy looked at Raphael. Chapter 360 The beginning of the extermination of the country. It's useless. Big Mom is not such a good talker. At this time, their ships are probably already on the way, so it's useless. Raphael shook his head and said. Infinity n airy summation bug infinity __. But, Luffy still wanted to say something, but was interrupted by Raphael. You should try the pinnacle of my life. I believe you will be satisfied. After speaking, Raphael left here and went outside. Maybe he wanted to see the country for the last time. After Raphael left, Luffy also picked up the dessert in front of him and ate it in one bite. The others looked at Luffy and took the dessert and ate it. Everyone finally knew about this legendary delicacy, and they too I felt the taste of happiness and remembered the beauty and joy of the past. After the aftertaste, everyone was silent for a while. Can't I try this delicious food again in the future? Nami also looked sad, and no one wanted to let this beautiful thing disappear. There's nothing we can do either. Reiju's words also silenced everyone. Yes, they can't do anything either. When Luffy and the others were silent, the Big Mom pirates finally came here. Give me attack, destroy this place. My mother said to destroy this place. Attack, Cracker ordered, and then the Big Mom pirates' ship also launched. The cannonballs were fired, and the country of gourmet food began to be destroyed. Boom, boom, the food kingdom trembled in the roar of the cannons. The originally beautiful country turned ash and wood in an instant. Hurry up and escape. Countless people fled to the sound of the cannons. The whole country is in chaos. When Raphael came to the port, a large number of people had already died in the artillery fire. Raphael was very angry when he saw the scene in front of him. At this time, a cannonball was also fired at him, kicking skill. Chaos. Raphael raised his foot and kicked without any hesitation. A wind sounded, and the shell exploded in midair, without hurting him in the slightest. Under Raphael's successive shots, he also rescued a large number of people at the port. Hurry up and escape into the kingdom. Raphael shouted. At the palace, Your Majesty, it's not good, the Big Mom pirates are attacking. A guard shouted anxiously. His eyes were full of panic. Obviously he was also extremely scared. Is it coming so soon? The king also sighed, and then cheered up. Pass my order, so those who need to stay come with me, stop them, and fight for the evacuation of the people. Time. The king obliged himself to go to the port. As a respected king, he also set his example as a king at this time. He was not afraid of life and death, and he had done a good job of living together with this country. Plan. Yes. After hearing the king's order, the guard was no longer afraid, and even the king was ready to fight. How could they retreat? Your Majesty, we will be here soon. The guards came to the guards and the people. Everyone with force, join me to stop the Big Mom pirates. By time for the rest, His Majesty the king has already rushed up alone. After the guards finished speaking, and left here, he is going to follow in the footsteps of His Majesty the king. He cannot let His Majesty take such a responsibility alone. After hearing the guard's words, everyone fell silent. I don't want to run away. Even His Majesty the king is already on board. How can we escape? Isn't it a life? In a place like the New World, being able to live until it's already very good now. I am here, not for others, but for His Majesty the king. A teammate of the escort team said solemnly, and then he took up his weapon without hesitation and rushed towards the port. I'm not running away. I have no home. What the hell? Let me buy some time for you. A middle-aged man also rushed out without hesitation. Since you want to destroy our country, then let you see our strength. If you are not afraid of death, come with me. Another person took up a weapon and rushed towards the port. Excited, they gave up their plans to escape and did their last bit for the country. Countless people rushed over, including soldiers, cooks, and civilians. As a food kingdom, most of them were chefs, and in places like the New World, even chefs had strong fighting power. Your Majesty, we are here to help you. A large number of people shouted, and at the same time they rushed towards the Big Mom pirates, and they fought one after another. Although the Big Mom pirates are powerful, they are really numbered too little. The king was also moved to watch this scene, not knowing what to say. More and more are coming, Cracker said, looking at the scene in front of him. No way, let's solve it quickly. Otherwise, it's not good to make my mother unhappy, Perospero said. Then let's shoot. Cracker soldiers, Cracker army. Cracker shot directly. A large number of crackers appeared around him, and then formed a figure, holding a sword in his hand. A large number of Cracker soldiers killed those who resisted. Licking, ha ha ha, it's really delicious candy. Perospero also shot in an instant, directly turning a person into candy. then licking it, and then being slapped by him crushed. Monster. The people around saw that Perospero was also full of fear, and even turned people into candy, and then bit them into pieces, which was equivalent to eating people. Boom. Where are you looking? Baron Dandin also shot. As a long-legged clan, he was a powerful kicking technique when he made a shot. No one can take his foot. With Cracker, Perospero, Baron Dandin, the three main forces, the resistance force of the Food Kingdom collapsed in an instant. After all, they are not real combatants, under the attack of the official members of the Big Mom pirate group, died or fled. Damn, I won't let you continue to do whatever you want. Raphael came to Baron Dandin and blocked him, kicking skill Storm Kick. Raphael attacked directly with one kick. You're the one who started to rebel against us. Then you can't be allowed to live like this. Otherwise, my mother will be angry, and in this case, we will have a hard time. So please die for me. Come on. Baron Eggy's eyes flashed coldly, and then he also kicked Raphael without showing any mercy.